Okay, there we go. We're live now. All right. Hello, everyone. This is going to be a one-shot based on the Withering the Fire setting of Kavega Thale using the air system. You can find the game on DriveThruRPG. I'll leave a link into the description. Aside from that, this one-shot's probably going to be running for 3 to 4 hours, and I'll let everybody introduce themselves now, and we'll start with you, Titus.
Hi, my name is Titus the Red. Say my channel's super big at the moment, but I hope to be making a lot of Within the Fire themed videos.
I can't hear him.
All right. Next up, we'll go with you, Thomas. You can introduce yourself to everybody if you have anything special you want to say.
Also, am I introducing myself or my character?
Just introduce yourself, just so people know who you are. If you have anything you want to tell them about anything.
Well, my name's Thomas, and I play games basically. I don't have any like YouTube channel or nothing fancy like that. I just play games. You might see me creeping in the distance sometimes, in different games. And I'm trying something new, kind of new this time. I mostly play females. I'm playing male this time. But yep, I'm just chilling. Nothing very special about me, I guess.
All right, Aaron, you can give a shout out to your game and channel if you want as well.
Hello, everybody. I'm Aaron Justin Bryan of Table Knights Entertainment. I am designing a game called the Kingdom of Grindor role-playing system, but don't worry too much about that. It's early alpha. Get it out of your head. Think about it all the time. Sleep with it. All right, moving on.
All right, Grant.
Yeah, my name's Grant. We're slothy. I just play games and sit here and be useless. But yeah, that's about it.
All right, and did you want to plug your art stuff?
Yeah. Well, my name is Alejandro Gangotena, which is awfully difficult, I guess, for a Spanish name. So you can call me Bob because why not? And yeah, I draw. I'm actually kind of drawing my character right now because I wanted to make the sun at last second because I just wanted to. And yeah, and you can commission me art. I got very fair prices. I had a discount this week. But it's the last day for discount, so you may wanna, there are usual prices that I'll give a link, so they probably will be at the disposal of the somewhere in this video, hopefully, maybe. So yeah, this is my channel. You can check it out, Momentum7, where you can find, some within the Ring of Fire stuff and some of a lot of stuff, different styles you could check, and. Actually, if my camera is being shown right now, these are my usual prices. There's more right there. And yeah, that's that. Planning to have fun. That's all.
All right, with all the introductions out of the way, we'll get the game started. Today is 11 days, or the in-world term for it would be a chain before the day of harvest. The village has gathered in a local tavern ran by one of the only Freynes, which are a race of elf-like people in the village. And right now they're gathering to discuss this witch who has come in, an orcish witch who has come into the town and offered them aid in growing their crops and keeping their village safe from harm, but the divinity of the harvest, Velex, has grown displeased with them and has begun cursing the village. So now the village is having a meeting about what should be done about the witch, whether they should continue to trust him and trust that he will protect them from Velex, or whether or not that they should turn to Velex again for aid and oust the witch. So Alejandro, you can start off with a description of what your tavern looks like since you are the owner of it, and then after that we'll go with Aaron, this description of his character because he's in here, and then Titus, would your character be here at this time in the tavern?
Will you be wandering into town pretty close to here?
Okay, so we'll get you and Grant's character in there a little later, and Thomas. But right now, it's Alejandro and Aaron's characters are going to be here. Alejandro, you start out with a description of your character and your tavern, and then we'll move on to Aaron.
Understood. Okay, so the tavern looks. I'm gonna give a very brief history of it. Like formerly, the tavern was owned by an other character, an ogress, for reasons maybe explored or maybe not in the story. It changed ownership about 35 cycles ago, which would be roughly about 7 years in real world time. Um, the tavern actually looks like a kind of very strange work in progress. There are very intricate and nice weaveries high on the walls. The walls, like outside of the tavern, you see it's mostly wood, but there are some walls that are made of stone. Um, Inside of the tavern, you see there are more stone walls and that are being built. And the outside of the tavern, like some of these places where you see wood outside, you go inside and there's actually stone being built. And those in the village know that Kaldir, which is the owner, really dislikes wood and has been pretty much since he got the tavern and got some opulence to do changes on his well, basically taking out wood and exchanging it for rock. And very currently there is rumors that he's got something else that's going to be replacing even some of the rock in the walls. And there are some strange kind of plant stuff growing in some of these walls that seem to be apparently the thing that's going to replace it. It's apparently some sort of freeing custom that uh, buildings are made of plants that kind of be woven, strange and very, very on the early stages. But right now, so the and there is no wooden furniture. It is known because of the village. I can be corrected, but because the village doesn't actually chop wood, and we only get like the wood that's already fallen, he actually he has exchanged all that he can of the wood for other materials in a price that's higher than in other village you would get for wood. And the furniture is usually like hay, like there's a lot of hay in the furniture, and some seats are like rock for the ogres, and if there is any firm around, I know. For the ogres, there's like some seats of stone, and there is some hay on the top for comfort. Um, and as said, like there are fine weaveries on the walls. There are there's obviously being a village. It's not like there's anything written anywhere, but on the outside you can see woven. There are like images of food and drink, specifically fruit actually, and like fruits next to drinks that could be devised as, oh, okay, like this kind of some kind of fruit juice, some kind of wine, and things like that. So the way that the village folk and people can usually communicate in these kind of places is more by images. So that's more or less, I guess that's more or less what you see. The walls are somewhat large. It would be um, like one ogre and a half tall, the walls. Yeah. Yeah, that would be about the description for now. And it's a decently big place.
All right. So next up, Aaron, you can describe your character now, what you look like, and what your equipment you would have on you or carrying with you, or anything like that.
Okie doke. So you see one of the most handsomest goat boys you've seen in quite some time, surrounded by interesting looking characters, men and women. It doesn't seem like he cares whose company he keeps as long as he keeps it. And he's chatting to all of them. They're all laughing, and they seem focused on him. If you're close to him, you smell this gorgeous scent wafting off of him, kind of like honeydew and suckles. He has. Let's see. What do I have? I believe I don't know how to read this character sheet. I keep forgetting. Where do I find my shit?
What are you looking for particularly?
Weapons and armor. Oh, okay, there we go. He has some very basic hide armor on. It looks like he's not too concerned with his own protection. And then across the table is a sword that's almost as big as he is. And if you saw it, you'd have to wonder yourself, how does this bouncy fucker swing that masterfully while, it's that same size as him?
All right, and with that, the villagers are starting to settle down, and the last couple of people are trickling in, ready for the meeting. And then on the outside of the tavern, we'll switch to a scene. Titus, it is late in the evening now, and you're wandering the streets. You're still new to the village. You haven't really seen anything or know anybody yet. And you're wandering these streets, and you see this tall, hooded figure approaching in your general direction. So, what would you do? Titus, you there?
Sorry about that. I had myself muted.
Oh. All right.
I suppose I should start with a physical description of my character so that people kind of get the view of the scene. Titus stands very short, and the reason for this is because he's only a child. This child has tanned skin, black hair, and very bright orange eyes. He stumbles down the road carrying two very large swords that are far too large for him to use on his back, both in their scabbards. He's weighed down by quite a lot of supplies, food, camping stuff, and seeing the first person that he's seen in days puts a smile on the young boy's face. Hello? Can you help?
All right, and now Grant, we'll switch back to you real quick. You are walking down the road, and you see this little boy calling out towards you, and you're walking down to the tavern to attend this meeting. You don't often attend town meetings, but this has been made a special request that you would attend such a meeting, and you can go ahead and describe what your character is wearing. I know you're wearing a long robe and a hood, but you can describe exactly what it looks like, and then you can respond to Titus.
Okay. I'm wearing a very heavy black cloak and robe, hooded. The only thing you see poking out is two tusks that are about 2 feet long each. Very tall, almost 7 feet tall. Holding a very, very intricate staff with a animal skull on the top of it, with different ornamentations all over it, dangling from it. And I slowly approach this child who is wandering the streets
And
with two gigantic swords on his back.
this would be a note to you. This is not a child of the village. Of that you can be sure, because you, as someone who has assisted in many of the births in the village, are not aware of this child.
Well, I continue walking to the tavern, and when I get close enough to this child, I merely look down upon him. And, what are you doing, child? Where are your parents?
My smile kind of disappears when you mention my parents, and I say, they're not here. And I'm just trying to find, I don't know. Actually, I have no idea what I'm looking for. I'm just sort of looking for a place to stay. Where is everyone?
They are in the tavern. That way, as I lift my staff and point towards the rather large establishment.
Oh, thank you. I say, smiling as I run off towards the tavern.
I just shake my head and continue on my way.
All right. And then you, I assume you just run right through the doors, Titus?
Yep.
All right. You, all right, Alejandro and Aaron, your characters both see you see this small human boy with two large swords on his back just run through the doors of the tavern without any care in the world. Most people in the tavern look over to this disturbance, seeing someone abruptly enter the establishment such as this. What do you do or say?
Knowing that the attention that I'm getting is going to be taken away by this little shit who just ran in here with two swords, I get up and I look over and I'm just gonna watch for the moment.
Yeah, right now, like Kaldir, he tilts his head slightly, looking with some curiosity. He looks at the sword. He frowns just slightly. He looks back at where Diruk is, which is kind of close by, playing with some fruits before eating them. And he looks back at the boy, and he just takes a mental note that Diruk shouldn't be close by the boy that has a big sword. But beyond that, he's not gonna say anything, and he's just gonna see what happens.
All right. You see Titus. You see an elderly orcish woman look over towards you and begin to approach you. Everybody else is just kind of like just looked at you, and then most of them are going back to the business. A couple of people are staring because noting those big swords on your back, but nobody is approaching you. So this particularly elder orcish woman begins to walk over in your general direction. Do you mind this, or do you go about your business? What do you do?
I don't really think I'm going to mind someone approaching me.
All right, well,
Could you? Sorry to interrupt you. Could you give a? I described just the place, but could you give a more specific description of how are people distributed around here?
Oh yeah, there are quite a few people in your tavern. It's almost filled to capacity. Most people are seated, although there are not quite enough seats to seat everyone because this is a large meeting, because there's a lot of people who are scared and they're meeting here. There's over towards the corner with the satire over in the corner, and he's gathered quite the crowd around himself. Aside from that, there are some orcs are in their own little corner of the tavern, and the rest of the tavern is just flooded by humans. And there's virtually no other species besides humans and orcs. There's one or two ogres and the one satyr, but mainly it is a majority humans in the tavern. And there is kind of a little bit of crowded walking space. The door itself hasn't been crowded yet. It's not that filled to capacity, but there are a lot of people, like all the bar counter, all the tables, everybody is sat down.
Okay. The door is very wide, by the way, like barn-like, and it's definitely wood by now.
All right, the elderly orc woman wearing a simple-looking dress, like a robe, really, not so much as a dress, with a small walking cane, approaches you, and she looks down at you. Well, you're a odd sight, boy. Speaking to you in Pelganese, and she pats you on the head and says, "Why are you carrying such large weapons to be such a small boy?"
They're my dad's.
And where is your father?
In Flame Dance.
She kind of looks like almost a puzzled look on her face. And then what are you doing here?
He stops, quite obviously trying to come up with some sort of excuse, and he finally appears to have come up with something. Adventuring.
She just kind of nods in acknowledgement. Well, Chaldea, as she looks over towards you and calls out.
I go by. By the way, I've been kind of organizing a pair of satyrs in one haven that technically, I mean, even if it's a gathering, even it's a very serious business and everything, yeah, some people want drinks, and I definitely take some advantage of that. So, but I've mostly been like watching. I haven't been much of a waitress myself. A waiter would be the word for male. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Waiter. Okay, of a waiter myself. Although usually I am. I go back. I go towards him. Or it's a, no, a female orc or a male orc.
It's a female orc.
Okay, I go towards her.
You actually
I look back again at the rook and I go towards her. The rook looks back at me with curiosity, and I just make a slight gesture of stay where you are.
you know her. She is her name is Na Arthur, and she is the matriarch of the village orcs. Um, and she is attending this meeting as more or less a representative of the orcish interest. And she is known to be relatively reclusive as far as human society goes. So this appearance is a rather rare appearance for her. So that is.
Okay. Yeah, I approach, and after that, a quick slide, hand gesture. I'm being attentive towards her.
So, do you mind taking this boy and watching over him during the meeting?
I narrow my eyes slightly and curl my lips. Yes, I just I point at the sword and back at the orc, and then I look at the boy. What's your name? My name is Kaldir.
My name is Titus Junior.
Hello, Titus. Would you mind um, give your sword to this nice lady? She will take care of it with a lot of affection and respect.
I immediately, I just sort of shrug, not even really minding, and I take one of the swords and I hand it to her. And then I look at the other sword. He doesn't really like being handled by other people.
Oh,
As you take the sword out of your sheath.
No. I'm
Okay.
holding it in.
All right.
yes. I look back at the orc and back at him. It's just you see, Daruk. He's kind of afraid of swords, and I'll be close to you now. I'm sure this Nathur will be very careful, and she and the sword will get along just fine.
Okay, one moment. I look at the sword in the sheath, and I just say, "Well, is it okay?"
And then you kind of just hear like a whisper in your ear, and it's like, I prefer to stay with you.
Thought you liked orcs, though.
The air of this place, something is wrong here. You should keep me near.
Okay. He doesn't want to leave. I'll just stay here. I just sit down on just sit down next to a banister or near some stairs or something.
I understand. It's just try to keep it away from Daruk. He's really afraid. As I am saying this, actually, the little kid that you can see in my image right now, he's approaching, and he does not even look remotely afraid. He looks very excited, and actually he's like his eyes are widened, and he comes close to the sword, and then I notice, and I put my hand on his shoulder, and I say, Daruk, away.
Huh.
He-
Well,
he
don't worry.
reacts
I won't
strangely.
let him play with sword.
Yes.
And then you see the doors open again in a much less dramatic fashion this time, as you see the hooded orc from outside now come in, and this time you are greeted almost immediately by the orcish matriarch Na'athur, because she is standing right next to the door, because she was just talking to Titus right when he came in, and she looks like directly at you, and she's like, "Oh, Boa, it is nice that you could make this meeting. Your wisdom would be most appreciated in this time of trouble."
Yes, we shall see.
"Would you like a seat, perhaps something to drink? I know you favor the wine."
No, I will stand in the corner, thank you.
And then, with that, you see a human man stand up and shout out. He's like, "We have waited long enough. There is no more time to be wasted. Our children's lives are in danger. Your special guest," pointing over towards the orc who has just been identified as Boa in this long robe with intricate staff, like he gestures towards them. "Your honored guest has arrived. Now there should be no further delay, and we shall begin the meeting with all due haste. Now, my first proposal would be," and then just as he says that, he is interrupted by the door opening yet again, and he looks rather annoyed at this. He looks towards the door, and Thomas, you can go ahead and describe your character as you walk in.
All right. So you all see how my voice is. My throat's kind of a little bit feeling under the weather. So hold on. Okay, but you see, see a young man. I'm not really completely familiar. I can't remember. I'm sorry about the cycle thing. I'm not sure how many cycles he would be, but basically, around about 20 years old. And normal years.
That's about 100 cycles.
Okay.
Slightly less.
Thank you. Basically around there, a young man. He has this air of confidence, but not arrogance, and overall friendliness, except for the fact that he looks a little weathered. His face looks clean, but he's wearing black leather. It looks, seems like he's been traveling for a while, but his face, it's like he takes care of himself and stuff. He has 3 grades of attractive. He's a very attractive person. He has 12 strength, so he's very well built. You can see just how muscular he is. And as proof of his muscles, I'd say you see he's wielding this weapon, an ogre iron, designed for the ogre shock troops. Very, very large weapon. It's like basically a claymore on crack, basically. He has it over his shoulder. He has it what would be the hilt is resting on his shoulder because he's not going to rest the blade on his shoulder, and he's holding that. And that'd be how I think it'd be about, what would we say, probably about 8 feet long or so. Mike, you did
Roughly about.
Yeah, about that.
a very large, wide, 8-foot long blade over his shoulder. He has
If you are converting from meters, I think 8 feet would be around 2 meters.
okay. He has that resting on his shoulder. He has short black hair, but he has a single fringe of hair hanging over his the right side of his face, and he has pale skin and sky blue eyes. Yeah, he might look a little dangerous with this huge weapon, but he has an air of friendliness about him, almost. It kind of kind of goes against his aura of ruggedness that his armor and weapon may bring.
And as you walk in, this human man who is...
Did I say how tall I said?
Oh, no, you didn't say your exact...
I'm saying about 6'3".
Right, as you walk in, this man who was so agitated before seems like a face of like almost shock. His name is Damien Hain, as the people of the village would know him. He is the brother of the previous ruler of the village, Vance Hain, and he is he's not as staunch of a follower of the Lex as Vance was, and Vance has since been kind of not really exiled from the village, but he's been living on the fringes of the village since the orc witch came into the village, and this is his younger brother. He looks over there towards you, and he's like, "And who are you? Why do you come into this meeting and this place of urgent matters and wield such a beast of a weapon? Do you intend to have a battle?"
I look at everyone in here, and most likely being stared at by a lot of people. I kind of look a little embarrassed, and I kind of lower the sword off my shoulder, not in a aggressive way. It's kind of just lowering it down, and I prop it up against the wall. Oh, sorry about that. I just coming back for a homecoming, I guess you'd say.
So
I approach the man.
you are from this village, you say? I don't recognize your face.
You wouldn't. I extend my hand. My name is Michael. I do not come from a singular line, for well, do I recognize this man at all? Or does he seem...
You don't really remember him too well, but then again, you didn't know everybody in the village in your short time that you stayed here. He's like extending his hand towards you, but as you say, you don't come from one line, and he notices that you didn't mention a last name. His hand kind of stops, and his eyes kind of squint at you, and he's like, "What do you mean, not from one line?"
I kind of let out a sigh and take my hand back. Sure, you would like to use a more colorful term, but I'm an illegitimate child.
You dare interrupt this meeting, and you have not even a name, not even a tribe name, and you come and interrupt this meeting for some homecoming.
I'm sorry. I don't wish, and like when I speak, I look like I'm immediately like ashamed of having interrupted. When I came to this village, I interrupted the current leader. I had no name, and I had never been here before. I think I was a lot more colorful to you then, and And I look at everyone, a lot of familiar faces, a lot of who saw him as a true and definite, leader, embraced me. And I think in these trying times, maybe we should embrace each other and start the meeting already. As you've said, it's a very important subject. If I may, I'm really sorry.
He looked very angry when he first looked at you, but he kind of just calms down as you say that, and he's like, "Fine. I don't have time to deal with him. Go, be seated, boy. You may listen if you wish, but your opinion matters little to me."
I call from across the bar. "Hey, big sword guy.
Like over there?
Come here."
Approach. I guess I'll pull up a seat, I suppose.
I push a drink over to him, and I go, "You want to fight?"
I smile at you. I didn't come here to fight.
Neither did I. I came here to have sexual intercourse. But you have a very large sword, and I want to fight you.
Well, you see, I kind of rubbed the back of my head a little bit. I wouldn't want to mess up that pretty face of yours.
Trust me, you won't mess it up. It'll be fine.
Well, perhaps we should just wait until the meeting's over. Want to cause a bunch of ruckus for these nice people?
The satyr sighs. It was fine.
I mean, like as I saw some of that, I start approaching you. I look at the child that I'm supposed to take care. I tell him, "Wait here for a moment," and I come to you, the newcomer. "I just spoke well for you. Now, don't make me regret that. You will not fight inside of here."
No, of course we're not gonna fight inside of here. We'd go outside, and then we'd stab each other.
I put my hands on my hips and look at you very disapprovingly. There is a very serious subject right now on the village. You can have sex later, and you can fight later.
I'm
There's. I look at my child, at the new child, and a lot of children here. There's a very serious thing going on, and I would imagine a lot of your progeny may be at risk too. Now,
I look at them.
please.
Yeah, at
And
least
I
like
look like I look
7
like I'm fucking wounded. Like, why the fuck would you do this? What's wrong with you?
at least 9 or 10 of these kids are mine. Probably.
I look at the frame. I don't want you to have
I
to
tilt
worry.
my head further, and I'm giving you a very disapproving look. Like, like
I'm
like
as I
like
said,
like like that look like you're being called by all your names, and like, of course, some of these children are you.
as I said, I'm not
He's
here to fight.
completely missing that and just thinking you're staring at him because you find him attractive.
Oh God, of course he is.
Wow.
I take a seat, and the seat kind of creaks a little bit. Well, I like to know it's stone seats, isn't it? Said no wood seats. It's just stone.
Yeah, I mean, if you sit in the stone seat creaks, man. I mean, obviously you got to lose some weight, but it still creaks.
But I forgot about that. Didn't you say it was? Were these stone? Didn't you say? Alejandro?
What of what?
The seats aren't they made of stone? Or
Oh yeah,
what are
they are
they?
made of. There are some made of stone. A lot of them are made of. Sorry, hay. Sorry, hay tightly packed and wrapped in ropes, basically.
I guess.
And the tables are distinguished specifically by the fact that they have fabric on top, not particularly intricate at all, because they have some, they usually there's food and drink and such, but basically to distinguish it from the seats, apart from obviously being a bit higher and such. And yeah, and also, like, as you seem to be calming down, I go back to where Titus is, and I sit next to you, Titus, and Dirk is like I'm in the center, and Titus, like, you're on a side, and Dirk is on the other side. Of course, unless you like flee away from me or something like that.
Well, I said I
But
pulled out a seat, so I guess I must have picked up one of those. Got hold of one of those little adult plant seats, and so I guess I sit into that. And I've never had. I've been in the presence of any of this type of material, and I look.
Well, the plant thing is mostly around the walls, and there is very little of it. There's some of them. It's called golden reed, basically. There's some of them, and they just appear in the interior because they started growing like some chains ago. It's a very curious material. Like, if you actually look at it, it's like, whoa, I've not seen something like this before. But there is currently no furniture of that material. Furniture is
Okay.
mostly hay, and some rock, which is the exception.
Well, I kind of look at that material, and as I've never seen it before, it because and also when I left this, I don't believe that your character was even here when I left last time, so I've never seen anything like this before. So I kind of sit down, I take the drink that the satire has offered me, and I take a couple sips from it, just looking around.
I'm definitely trying to keep a look on you, so we may roll perception or whatever is fair if you're trying to sneak on me. I did go towards these people for a moment, so no, I don't know if I have penalties or whatever, but I am like continuously looking at you, very like I'm very interested in your safety. You have been commended to me. So, and if I have lost you, Dirk has definitely not lost you. He's stalking you basically, and he looks very excited. He definitely likes your sword, but after I said, like, like, no, he's not like literally touching it, but he is staying next to you,
Um,
and he's almost like slightly jumpy on his heels.
I set it down to like as soon as I came into the place, I set it down to like the right of the door. I
Mhm.
seemingly my Michael doesn't seem to my character doesn't seem to believe that anyone can pick this sword up.
Hmm.
So that's why he just set it up with such ease, seeing how it takes not even the average ogre can wield that sword. That's how
Oh,
big it is. So he
interesting.
doesn't really he's not doesn't think anyone's going to be picking it up anytime soon. So that's why he doesn't seem to
Yeah,
care.
but
They
but
place
you
it
had
down.
it. You had it on your back, right? You have one of the swords on your back, which is the one you were talking to, or don't
No,
you?
I had
That's Titus. Titus was the one with the two swords.
Okay, I'm sorry. I think I'm confused about characters. Where is Titus? I was talking about Titus, the
I'm
child.
just sitting down next to the door. Next to the door. I'm just sitting down.
Oh,
I've been-
okay. Sorry, I confused characters. My bad. Yeah, I'm close to Titus, definitely.
okay.
Sorry.
All right, and as everybody settles down, the man Damien Hain, he looks around again, waiting a little bit, making sure no one else is going to barge through the door and interrupt him again, and then begins what he was saying. He's like, "We have already lost one child, and I fear that we may lose more in the coming day of harvest as the reaper takes his due."
I kind of I kind of tilt my head up a little bit, like raise my chin. What is this child's name?
Kind of looks over towards you.
I know you may not like me from what I am, but I do care for the well-being of this village, therefore it is my home.
A young girl by the name of Annabelle Hain.
I stand up. What are you saying? I approach him again. I approach him.
Okay.
I'm hearing you right. Annabelle.
Yes, now take your seat and allow me to finish speaking.
That is my little sister.
Your relation does not matter for...
I slam my hand on the table.
Yeah, kind of like steps back a little bit. Like, I would ask that you take your seat again and allow me to finish.
Seeing how this is my sister, I would not like you to treat me so poorly when it comes to her.
Make an intimidate roll real quick.
Oh, snap. Okay, hold on. Okay, let's do it too. Okay. Hot roll. How about this? What one is? Kinda gets hard for me to mess with a little bit. Okay. Oh, dang it! I didn't have this floating dice on. Hold on. Gotta do it. Roll one real quick. Okay, I got a 22.
Okay, well. You slam down, and he kind of backs away from you, and he's like, if you wish to know more, just return to your seat and let me finish. As he kind of looks like he's trying to be manly.
I was basically just asking him basically to treat me with a little more respect because this is something to do that's very dear to me basically. I basically told him I didn't have no time to him be his.
He looks kind of like a little bit scared as you come at him like this, but he's like still trying to be puffed up and trying to like keep like a manly facade about him. And he's like, yes, as I was saying, we've lost the one child, and it is likely we will lose many more.
Did this seat in the middle have any this table in the middle have any seats, or is it just like standing?
No, only his seat because he's standing up, so you could take his seat, I guess.
But no. I go back to where I was invited by the satire, and I don't drink anymore after hearing that. I'm just looking, sitting down looking.
And he's like, as I was saying, the village is losing children. We have to put a stop to it. This witch, this orcish witch, this Garox, as he calls himself, he has done little to aid us. He helped us in the first cycle, yes, by restoring our crops to us. But now Valex has taken his due. He has taken his harvest of blood, and he will take more. And he kind of like gestures over towards the different children, to Titus and Durek over there. He's like, these children.
I immediately like embrace mine, like like close to me when he does that, and I look intimidatingly towards him when he points at my kid.
It's like, whose will be next? Whose children will be taken in this harvest? The mere chain away. This reaper, the spirit of Valex, he's come to torment us, to have us turn from our ways, to turn from this witchcraft. The witch He may have helped us with our harvest, but our village got along well enough before him. My grandfather and father both ruled this village fine. My brother would have made a fine ruler if it was not for you people to chase him off after the witch arrived. I suggest we go to him, and as he is a priest of Alex, he may invoke a right of sacrifice or forgiveness that Valex might forgive our wrongdoings.
I like literally like just the very serious situation as a kid raises his hand.
He just kind of glances in your general direction, but doesn't really mind that you're raising your hand. And
Titus, when you're raising your hand,
yeah, he's raising his
Yeah.
hand.
yeah, I immediately like take your hand and put it back in your lap.
I like look at you like
And
what
I
are you
put my
doing?
finger and I put my finger in my mouth and I look at you and like,
I put my hands on my hips even though I'm sitting down, and I say quietly, "I'm an adult."
yes, you are, and you will speak later.
Alright, and with that, he just kind of nods to you as you put his hand back down, like approvingly, and then just looks to the rest of the people. Do any of the players say anything?
I imagine humorously as other players are making their comments and such, the audience can hear Titus is trying to say "excuse me" like really quietly in the background during the entire like multiple speeches and such.
Alright.
What was the name of your character again?
Titus.
Okay, Titus. Okay, so Titus, listen to me. Now you see the adults here; they're not really saying anything. You see, he's saying something. He's saying something. Now they came here. They caused a lot of trouble. People look at them very bad. They were looking at them as they were acting like childs. No, you don't want people to look at you and think you're a child, right?
But I have something to say.
Yes, you do. And I touch your cheek, and you will say it. Really.
Do I hear this going on over there?
Aaron, where was your character sitting? Like, how far away from the door was he sitting?
I assume that one of my tables was near the door, so I could get either to the nearest bale of hay outside of the bar.
Oh, then.
All right, so you're still sitting with him. So yeah, you kind of hear this in the background, but
I kind of
it gets overshadowed by.
can I make a roll for it, maybe?
I'm also kind of whispering, by the way.
Okay, you can make a perception roll, but
I'd be interested to hear if I hear this if it tied to saying anything, so I kind of try to listen.
okay, you make a perception roll to see if you hear it because somebody else is about to start talking. If nobody else did anybody else speak up after he finished talking?
And
Because you have a little bit.
I
before.
was going to say something to the barkeep who was
Alright.
talking to the kid.
by the way, if anyone can draw with some color their position in the roll 20, I appreciate it. I made a little drawing. You know, it's terrible, but you know, it's just for general. You know, in the roll 20.
I have no idea how to do that.
Yeah, I have little idea, but apparently I have enough idea to do that ugly thing.
I think now that the game is live, only Alan can do that.
No,
No.
I
It's
just drew a green circle.
yeah.
where I
Okay.
am.
The green circle is who?
That's
That is,
me,
Uh,
Aaron,
I guess.
the goat.
I guess
Okay,
I'm
so
either on this
I'm-
side.
you are-
or that side,
you're
I guess.
probably sitting next to maybe Titus because the golden is me, and definitely like Tiruk is gonna be like here. That's the orange, and Titus is gonna be on the other side because I'm keeping you close watch, unless of course you run away or whatever. You know.
So now that I'm annoyed because I
Hmm.
was talking to a bunch of lovely looking individuals, and then you brought a kid to my table and took it over. I just look at you as you're telling him not to talk, and I'm like, "What have you to say, tiny human?"
I just look at you. Well, I want to know why this is confusing. Why is there just this big conversation?
Well, they're trying to figure out which god to worship. Always confusing, apparently, to humans. I worship the only god that matters.
I just sort of like look genuinely confused as I'm holding my sword, like scabbard's like one of my swords I left by the door, kind of next to Aaron's sword, and the other sword.
That's Thomas's sword.
The other sword is still in its scabbard, and I'm like holding it like a girl would hold a doll, like I'm like cradling it, kind of. And I just look at the sword, and I just say, this doesn't make any sense.
You hear the whisper of the sword. It's like, these people are misguided. They seek vengeance against a witch who has done them no wrong.
When you say this, I would think that you're talking to me, and I go, yeah, I don't get it either.
I mean, it doesn't sound like the witch did anything bad.
He did not. It is the people of the village who are misunderstanding the situation.
Can I say something real quick?
Again,
Doesn't just Titus only hear this?
Yes, only
Yeah.
Titus hears this whisper.
Yeah, but he's saying things out loud.
Everything
and I'm thinking
Titus-
he's talking to me.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
and
very,
I'm
okay.
responding.
I'm very close to Titus. So if Titus hears something, even if it's meant just for him, like you feel.
No, it's mental. It's
Yeah, it's
mental.
like
It's a telepathic
Oh.
whisper.
Oh, holy shit. Okay.
So I tell him, well, I guess, people have issues with other people being different, so and he just takes a piece of the like vegetables he was eating earlier, and he just chews on it really hard.
And while all this is going on, the cavern is different people are, talking amongst themselves and whatnot, and nobody's actually come up with like a counter argument yet. And then Damien states again, well, it seems no one would oppose this idea of returning to Velex and returning to our way of life.
I stand up and I go, how much are you willing to pay?
Pay for what?
Support.
You Satire, you're a mercenary now.
I look at Sata, kind of, after I hear the mercenary, I kind of just note that basically.
If you would be able to provide muscle and aid in ridding this village of this witch, then I would be happy to pay you with as much ale as you could drink.
He just looks at him like, are you serious? And he just goes, how about at least, that and 20 gold coins? Come on, I have like a quota I have to meet. And then my boss is a real dick.
I stand up. Why is no one talking about what's important?
What's
I
that?
immediately like take you by the wrist and try to sit you down.
I put like one finger up at you and I'm like, let him speak.
Who does that? Oh, okay, the same.
Yeah, the same.
I
I
like
cross
walk,
my arms and put like I roll my eyes.
I walk a little. I walk so that more people can see me. Absolutely unafraid of large crowds. Seemingly used to a situation where I've had to speak in front of a large number of people before, despite my age. And I say, I've been sitting here listening to all of you, and I'm not from here, so I guess you don't have to care what I say. But it sounds like the spirit is a bully. He doesn't like what you're doing, so he's trying to force you to do something else. And by getting rid of this orc who never did anything wrong, You're just making yourselves victims. You're letting the bully win.
I
He's
stand
the
up.
bad guy. Period.
You see, some
That's not-
people are like whispering amongst themselves. Some people like gasp, kind of like
I'm
you
kinda-
brazen.
I look at the other two people acting, and I see that Titus might be in danger soon. So I stand next. I stand by his side.
The kid, the satyr laughs as the kid says this, and he goes, "Wisdom from the mouth of babes. Come on, then. I'm sure some of you would like to stand up for yourself. I'm a mercenary, so, I'm not going to do it for free, but I'm sure some of you would. And I would like to roll some sort of check to rise the ire of the...
That sounds like a guile leadership or something.
Ooh, I'm good at guile. I got lots of guile. That's how I get people into bed.
Oh dang!
Roll damn guile. Yeah.
Yes, I have guile 6, and my specialization is primate.
Oh, seduce us all into helping you.
That's pretty much what's happening right now. What am I doing? What am I
What
rolling?
exactly are you trying to do?
I'm trying to get some people to like be interested. Like this kid just like spoke his heart out, and I'm sure that some of the people in the village want to defend their home. So I'm just trying to muster up their courage through my words, because I know my tongue is sultry.
Oh, actually. You've been speaking only Sindarian.
Hmm?
Does the kid? You've been
Yeah.
only speaking
Yeah, he's
Sindarian.
been speaking the satire, the language of the satyrs. That's the only language you know.
I speak Sindarian, lucky me.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, everybody in here.
I
does
just
it.
forgot that. That's a
players
very
do.
important thing I shouldn't have forgotten.
Good. Everybody important can understand.
I mean, in character, yes, but you just spoke to a lot of people that most of them probably.
Yeah, but everybody important can understand me. I only care about the reactions of people who can help. All right, so what am I rolling?
Diplomacy.
We don't
roll,
care about
actually.
extras.
Diplomacy.
Yeah, that sounds like diplomacy. Your kind of leadership.
So that would be a just straight 2d8 because you don't have any bonuses to it, and you have 4 presents.
I
So
liked it better when it was Guile. All right,
Yeah, it was
2d8.
it's just 2d8.
Okay. Exploding separate.
Yeah.
Okay.
Damn,
Oh, snap.
is the best thing.
Hey, I got Doublos.
That was really, really close to being something really, really good, but that's not the best you could have gotten. But
I mean, that's literally one away from each on the best I could have gotten. What more do you want from me? I beat the statistical odds.
That's like
You do.
rolling a natural 19 in Dungeons
I
and
mean,
Dragons.
you did
Calm
not
down.
sound like an idiot. That's not bad.
yeah, I mean,
2 sevens is awesome.
yeah, it's not bad, but I'm just saying it's just that it gotta hurt just being that close from being.
Better than double ones.
But,
Yeah.
Anyway, so you say this, and there are a few people who speak your language that notice. Not a lot, but there are a few. Particularly the guy who's kept talking, this Damien guy. He seems to understand what you're saying, and a couple of other people seem to understand what you're saying. And one of the other humans kind of speak up and say, If a child isn't afraid of Alex, then why should we be? He's just a small boy. Like, what reason do we have to fear? And then the old orc woman, Na'ather, looks over towards you, Boa, and she's like, I have called you here for this reason, Boa. These people, they are afraid of Alex, and I believe it is time you showed yourself to them.
Very well. I leave from the the shadows of the corner, and I step forth.
And like
In
as you step
front of
forward, a bunch of
Damien.
people are getting like riled up, and like some people are like arguing with each other, saying like, "How dare you take the side of the witch?" And like people are starting to get like really riled up now because now a fire has really been stoked.
As a note, like when it was said like, oh, a kid says this, like, why is everyone else afraid? At that moment, like I hugged like with both my arms at the rook, and the rook that was like is in general like very cheerful. Like he looks up and he looks at my face, and I have my eyes wide and they're almost teary, and I look very 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 afraid. And his usual cheerful attitude is just like shut down, and he looks like he's very empathetic towards me, although he doesn't seem to fully understand the stakes. He is also sharing my sadness, for I look sad and scared of what may happen. And then of course I see the rest that's happening, so that was just a little imprint.
All right, go on, Boa. And what were you saying?
I stand in front of this Damien man, the one who's, inciting everybody to kill the witch.
All right.
And I stand there.
Still standing next to Titus, by the way, kind of almost guarding him.
All right.
I slam my staff down repeatedly until the noise dies down.
And everybody kind of just stops and looks over there and looks at what's happening.
You fight amongst yourselves. When this god takes your children, and you wish to punish a man who has only helped you. Fools, all of you. We should be focused on finding the child and dealing with these reapers of Alex, not a witch hunt, not burning innocent men at the stake.
And then Damien looks at you and he's like, "Do you think this child can be found? Balex has taken them as a price of blood. And they will take more if we continue to support your witch, orc."
This is not my witch, but this witch has helped you when Valex has forsook you. And you repay him by placing him on a pike and burn him at the stake. Ungrateful bastards, a lot of you.
We have no need to burn the witch alive. We may exile him from the village. Does that sit better with your people? He will be exiled.
Oh, I'm sure that I'll bring the children back. I'm sure that this god of yours will stop taking what he wants.
And even if we do exile this witch, you would say that you would continue to give praise to this Valex, who has done this to the children of our village, to my sister.
And then these people, the other humans, they start kind of like nodding, like and agreeing, and then the orcs kind of rally in support, and everybody seems to kind of be like swinging with the momentum, like a herd mentality almost. Like they're seeing all these people getting riled up. Just one guy is defending Alex, and everybody else is just coming in here pro witch, and then the people start getting riled up behind them, and they start like shouting out different things, like, "Yeah, it's like he's right. We should find our children again, take them back." It's like. Then somebody else is like, "Yeah, if we stand up to Valex, then we'll have the witch's aid, and there'll be no more lost children." And then the people just start getting riled up, and
I sort of look at Sword and I say, "Is this better?
very much better."
Can you bring the kid back?"
I do not know. We will have to see.
Well, you can at least get rid of the spirit, right?
Yes, that we can do.
I smile and then I look at everybody else, and I climb onto one of the tables and I say,
You were talking out loud to your sword, right? Just making sure.
"Yeah, I talk out loud to my."
I was
sword.
standing right next to you. I was glancing down at you as you were doing that kind of. But okay, sound table. Go ahead.
And wait, what do you say?
No, he was just
go ahead.
You were talking.
Oh. And so I climb onto the table and I say, "Everybody, do you want that kid back?"
Everybody just kind of like nods, like, yes, we want our children to be safe, and we want our children back.
The satyr says under his breath, "I just want money and pussy."
Do you want?
When
do
you say
wanna
that, like,
prove-
I immediately like put my hands on the ears of my kid.
do you want to prove to Valex that we aren't just plants to be harvested?
Like, everybody's kind of like they're kind of like nodding, like, yeah. And then the Damien guy just interrupts you in the middle of your speech. He's like, you would listen to the words of a child over the words of a man.
Hey, shut up! He's doing better than you are.
Yes, I agree with the satyr. You are.
I kind of,
I'm. Oh, sorry.
they're talking about the words of a child over with a man. I kind of crack my knuckles and I take a step forward. And what about my words?
After I do this, I'm actually going to try and. Oh wait, hold on. I'm going to try and make a guile roll to try and get this guy to change his mind. Like guile, diffusing hostilities probably, and I'm going to.
Is that diplomacy?
Definitely diplomacy, diffusing hostilities, unless
The
you're
guile is
very
like
severely lying. You know,
Yeah,
storytelling.
diplomacy is
right? You maybe like the closest thing you could do that with guile is if you start to tell a tale about peace being the best. You know, like that's the closest thing. That or a lie, a very big lie. Otherwise, it's very obviously diplomacy.
yeah, there is.
Okay, I'm gonna. I guess I'll use diplomacy. It's only a 1 point difference, and I will. I'm going to draw my sword, which has the physical appearance of being made of stone and wood, really sharp as fog and mist bellows off of it as the scabbard clinks onto the table, and I just very, very wobbly hold it out. Obviously, I'm not quite strong enough to be using the sword properly, and I probably can't use it very well in combat, but it's more symbolic. As I say, this is Oathkeeper. This is my family's sword. This sword can kill your Reaper. Never hurt any more children, ever again. Valex will think twice before harming this village.
And as you draw that sword, and they see the mist bellowing off of it, and this is a clearly special weapon. Everybody's like jaws kind of drop, and people like gasp, and they start talking amongst themselves like look at that! The child bears a weapon, and then they start talking, and they're like, oh look, the mist. It's like he's like the weapon must be magic and stuff like that. And then Boa, your hand is on your shoulder by the matriarch, not after, and she whispers to you. He's like, you see, Boa, the child, he bears a weapon of magic.
I'm not blind. I see it.
All right, and go on, Titus. You draw your sword. Did you say anything else? You just draw your sword. And,
No, I'm just waiting for other people to respond. Should I roll something?
yeah, if you want to roll your diplomacy, you said you wanted to convince the.
That sounds like a no. Or
How do I
yeah,
roll?
diplomacy, anyways.
I don't know how to roll in D20.
It is on the far left, and then go down near the bottom next to the help icon.
Take a look at
Click
that.
on the dice roller, or you can just type in /roll 2d8.
/roll 2d8. Well, that's a.
Well, how
I
much
guess
of
that's
a
not the
bonus do you have?
That's not
for
the worst
diplomacy?
roll. So that's let's see, that's 5, and my bonus is a total of +3, so that's 5. 6, that's it. I rolled an 8, not amazing, but I mean the sword should
That
speak for
is-
itself.
That probably looks like you're. It almost looks like an analogy of not do it. It's like, oh look, a little kid wielding something he clearly does not control. This is obviously not a symbol for everything we're doing wrong. You know, like a bad success is usually a 12.
You do that, and you draw your sword, and he, Damien, just kind of just shoos you off, and he walks off. He's like, "Fine, if you wish to condemn yourselves, condemn your very souls to this and following this witch and this boy with his weapon of cursed magic, then I will be no part of it. And he walks, leaves the tavern, leaving everyone. And then everybody's all riled up and everything from the previous talking, but Damien seems to have his mind set on following Velex in this particular case. And with that, everybody just starts talking about ways that they're going to find the child and everything like that. And then one of the guys speaks up. He's like, does anyone have any idea where we should go, where we should try to find this child? And then the matriarch speaks up again. Naather, she says, we should speak to Garrux. He is the witch that you all have were so quick to turn your back on, but now you see the error of your ways. He has promised aid against Velex, and so it shall be given.
And just how long ago was my sister taken?
Nearly a cycle.
I just kind of look a little bit defeated, and I kind of look down.
Boa,
Yes.
would you be so kind to lead those who are willing to go speak with Garrux, and he will aid you further in this matter. He knows more of the spirits than I.
Very well. Follow me, those who want answers. As I march out.
As they're walking, I look at Titus. I've heard his name spoken out because I'm so close to him, so I know his name is. Okay.
Yeah, I would have said my name. Well, actually, I haven't said my name yet, so.
Well,
I actually asked your name, and
Yeah, I have
Don't
said
do
my name.
that.
Never mind.
yeah.
okay. So I look at you. After just seeing that display of you pulling out your sword and stuff. So I kind of give you. I look a little bit sad. Just hearing the news of my sister's been gone basically a cycle, but I kind of give a slight smile to you. How well do you know how to use that sword?
I don't really know how to use it. He just helps me.
Well, maybe I could teach you.
My eyes brighten and I look at the sword. Did you hear that? He can teach me.
Yes.
Now I go and I pick up my ogre iron. Although I'm a little more used to bigger swords.
I'm just getting flashbacks to, Cloud from Final Fantasy.
But I can definitely know how to use swords of smaller ones like yours.
And then as you talk to your sword and tell him that he can help you learn it, the sword whispers to you and he says, it would be most beneficial to us if you would learn how to wield me in a proper battle. And with that, whom among you is going to be following Boa as he leads to the witch?
I'm going to say one more thing to Titus, but I'm going with him. Say something quick. Yeah, just stay by me and you'll be fine. I'll teach you what you need to know and I'll keep you safe from anyone who might try to hurt you. Okay?
I nod. I'm assuming both me and Aaron are going to be leaving with the orcs. However, I know the satyr. He works for pay.
I'm Thomas. He's the beautiful creature with the beautiful face over there to the left of your thing is Aaron.
Yeah, I'm Aaron. Although my character's name is Shavir.
I keep getting Grant and Aaron mixed up.
I'm Thomas.
I'm getting everyone mixed up. Shit.
I'm getting everyone mixed up too. By the way.
People need their profile pictures.
The sexy, younger-looking version of Jack Black is Aaron. That's me.
So,
And then I'm also the goat.
so
What's your name again, Satyr?
Chevre.
Could you spell that on the chat?
So
What are you talking about a chat?
What?
I'm
Name
kidding.
character. So I
Could everyone do that, actually?
I turn to the satyr and I say, "So you fight for money, right?"
Well, I fight for a lot of things. Money is one of them, but a lot of things.
My dad used to have a lot of mercenaries like you. I dig through my bag, and I give you a few gold pieces. I wasn't able to grab a lot before I left, but I was able to get some money from.
How many gold pieces is this?
I don't know, like just FT throw a number at him. I mean, I have like a 3 in opulence, so
Let's say 7.
The satyr looks at this, shakes his head a little, and then he goes, "All right, you can pay me the rest later. This will be what is considered a forward payment."
I'm standing right next to you guys talking. I kind of tilt my head a little looking at this.
I'm still very close to you. I look at this, and I tap your shoulder, and I say, "Okay, so I can pay you as much as him and more. You will stay with me and the Kur in case anything happens." I look very clearly scared, although you may have a very
Who's
horrible insight. And I'm already showing you some gold coins and silver coins.
whose shoulder are you tapping right now?
All right, you've got it. I'm yours. And your character is a female or a male?
It's a male, is stupidly attractive, and he sighs in relief.
Oh, you're attracted. Okay, he puts his arm around your shoulder and he goes, "All
Don't do
yours."
that. Yes, don't do that. Take your arm out. Like the first second it was like relief, and you do that, and I look seriously uncomfortable and slightly disgusted. Even though you're attractive, I'm like, yeah, no, don't do that. Just stay in the same room. Come with me.
yeah.
I'm
And
looking at.
I start like power walking towards one of the places of this what's the word, kind of warehouse place, and it's actually a small room and made of stone, and the kid looks afraid as he's with me, and he looks more afraid than me, even though like before he was very cheery and stuff. And I start like opening drawers and like taking out valuables and showing them to you.
Okie doke. When you say "come with me," the first thing that pops in his head is, "I thought that was the idea," and then he walks with
You do
you.
notice that the kid is there, you know.
Yeah, no, he's thinking that. He's not.
Yeah.
Didn't say that out loud. He looks at the valuables and he goes, "All right, that's pretty good. So you want me to keep the kid safe, right?"
Yes, the kid and me, but mostly the kid.
Okay, cool. Hey, kid.
Are you talking to me?
Yes, he said kid. So.
Oh, yeah. I'm clearly looking at Dicker, by the way. Dicker is the little ugly, but like he has like the ugliest. Like he got like some herbivore teeth and some carnivore teeth.
Dear
and
God.
he's weird as fuck.
He looks like a Lord of the Rings walk.
Yeah, like he just looks.
He looks like a baby goblin with pale flesh.
Pretty much. Like if you have ever seen a cross between a Frane and an ogre, whether they look sexy when they grow up or not, like this is not a good specimen.
That's
He
like
has
the
like a
least-
very narrow
Maybe.
neck of a Frane and eyes of a Frane, but the mouth is just all fucked up, and he has actually like the protruding belly of an ogre.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is why the only half-breed species to ever exist that was a good idea are Calfars.
Naturally.
Anyways, he goes, "Hey, kid."
The kid looks at you curiously. I still have him. Like I had him like imagine in front of me in the center. Like if you can look at my screen, like he is like here, and my arms were across him. And but when I look at the drawers, like he looks nervously at you and back at me.
I kneel down to the child and I go, "All right, here's how it's gonna work. Okay, we're gonna set down some ground rules. Can you follow rules? Do you know about rules?"
He looks back at me. I nod one time. He looks back at you, and he nods several times, like nervously.
Wait, I'm confused. Isn't Titus the kid?
No, I'm talking about Daruk.
Yeah, there's
Like-
two kids.
There's two
Yeah,
kids.
basically.
This kid and then there's me.
This is a
Titus is a human child, and that's a little half-breed child that
That's
Hunter-
my actual kid. You know.
You're a kid and ugly as fuck. Jesus. Anyways, he goes, all right, so you're going to stay within 10 feet of me unless I tell you to do otherwise, okay? All right.
He
Other
looks back
kid.
at me. He looks back at me again, and I'm like, I'm looking at you like very disapprovingly, but I still look back at him, back at you, and just nod slowly, and I look like I want to slap you.
He looks at you and he's just like, I'm not going to sleep with your kid.
I look like I frown, it's a high frown, and my mouth goes down. My kid looks different.
Yeah.
He's beautiful.
Continue.
That is all. You will protect him,
Yeah.
and you will not insult him.
No.
Good. Those are my ground rules, and you will follow them.
Sure, you're paying me. Anyways, where are we going? What are we doing? I want to kill some stuff.
No, the best thing that could happen is we stay in this room, nothing special happens. We just stay, you happen to be useless, and I still pay you a lot of money. And if we actually need you, then you will defend us. We are still okay.
Ah,
Me
fine.
still in the tavern, and I like put my gold that I was gonna pay him back in my bag, and I say, that doesn't sound fun at all. Okay, whatever. We're gonna go save some people's lives. Bye. And I
Yeah,
leave
after-
with the orcs.
After seeing all this this stuff with the satire, requesting, getting payment for all this work and stuff, or in the beginning, and I've been by next to Titus this whole time. I look down at him again. Yeah, you shouldn't never have to worry about paying him. I think you did the right thing by taking your gold back. I'm a mercenary too, but I'm not asking for anything. And I kind of lean in a little bit closer. I think you would rather have me with you anyways, right? I do have the bigger sword.
Well, you do have the bigger sword. But my dad never had the issue with paying people. He said, if you're good at something, pay.
Well, when it's helping others, I don't mind.
Well, yeah, I mean, we're saving people's lives, but if I decided to be a soldier when I got older, I wouldn't want to be a free soldier, because that's just a slave with a sword.
Well, true, but I'm not a soldier.
I shrug. True. I've never been this far east before.
Well, this is my hometown. Things seem to have changed a lot since then, since the last time I've been here. But, well, I'm sure I still know some way around, at least a little. So I can help you the best I can.
I smile and I nod. Let's go save your sister.
All right, so we have Michael and Titus are both going to be following Boa out, while Shavir and Keldar stay in the tavern, correct?
Boo.
I'm getting paid more.
Boo.
Alejandro, your mic is muted. Hunter?
Mike is muted.
Oh yeah, sorry. It's pronounced Kaldir, and yep, definitely.
All right, so Boa, you lead them to the manor which Garrux the witch has been staying. He began to stay in this manor after the previous occupant, Vance Hain, the old leader of the village, was exiled by the village. The witch has taken up residence in his old home on the outside, a little ways out of town. And you know where he is. You don't have a really great relationship with him. You're not like enemies with him or anything, but you also don't know him terribly well. Um, and you lead them out there towards him. And as you go out, you're like there's like a winding path leading through the forest, and it's like on a small hill right outside of town. That's nestled just within the oak wood, and you go up to this house. It's a large two-story building made primarily of stone, and you walk up to the door. And what do you do, Boa?
I use my staff to rap on the door 3 times.
And as you tap 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 on the door, you see and you hear some footsteps begin approaching, and the door creaks open slowly. And you see the face of Garrux. He has one broken tusk. The other tusk protrudes about a foot and a half out of his mouth. He's an orc, and he has like a darker skin complexion than most. It's almost like a brownish, almost bark color to his skin. He looks very odd. I guess the best way I could describe it. He's not exactly ugly, but he does have like a few quirks about him. His ears are slightly smaller than most. His nose is slightly smaller. His features about him are smaller than a normal orc's features. Even to his tusk are relatively small. And he looks at you and instantly notices who it is because of the staff that you're wielding, and says, "Ah, Boa. What brings you here?"
We are here so that you'll make good on your promise. Must find these children that Velect has stolen and make a plan to defeat his reapers.
Yes, I'm glad that the town has finally decided on the matter and decided to support me in this endeavor. He looks.
Pop out behind the orc, and I just say, "You're welcome." Oh wait, what language were they speaking?
Well, what language did? They're probably speaking in Thraxa. Because he only saw Boa right there in the front.
Oh,
So.
that's how many
Never
people are here?
mind. Never mind. I don't. If they were speaking a language I understood.
How many people are here? How many people
Just you, Titus, and Boa were the only ones who went out.
Okay.
And then he looks back to see the large human man standing to your side, and he doesn't notice the small boy behind you yet. And he switches to begin speaking in Pelganese, the language of the humans, and speaks to the large man behind you. This is all they could send. One man.
You don't see the Oran, I'm just saying. I mean,
He's looking at you, but he doesn't really seem impressed with your weapon.
I poke my head out from behind, and I say, two men.
He looks down and says, Boa, why have you brought a child to my boat?
I have brought you those who seek to right the wrongs, and yet you complain. Are you going to let us in? My legs grow weary.
Then come. And he opens the door and lets you in. It's a large den-like place. You see there are many plants growing inside. He has like many pots filled with a variety of plants. Anything from there are anything from decorative like daisy-like flowers and sunflowers to a couple of exotic berries and whatnot growing about. And there is a fireplace that is completely and utterly empty. It has nothing in it, no ash, no wood, anything. And there is no source of light, and it has become, by the time you reach this place, it was dusk when you were talking in the tavern, and now it's become nighttime, and he doesn't seem to have any particular source of light within here. But then he lights a small candle and sits it on the table and sits down in a small wooden chair, and you see there are about 3 other chairs, just enough for the 3 of you to take your seats in.
what are the chairs? Wooden chairs? Or?
Yes, wooden, rather really old wood.
Oh,
Like-
snap.
They're like they creak when you sit down in it. The only person who doesn't creak is Titus because he's so small. But
I see that. I see the old freaky kid. I don't even bother sitting. I think they'll probably break. And
Yeah, I weigh 85. I weigh 85 pounds, so
yeah, Titus doesn't even creak when he sits down in it. But Bo, I'm assuming you sit down after your comment about feet hurting.
Yes, I
You
sit
sit
down.
It creaks under your weight, even though you don't weigh that particularly much. But it creaks and kind of gives a little bit as you sit down.
definitely have to see the old man sit down at creeks. I'm not even gonna try.
I look disappointed when my chair doesn't creak, so I intentionally make it creak a whole bunch. Like squeak, 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 squeak.
Kidding.
And like, well, if these are the only two the village can muster, we may be in trouble, Boa.
What language is speaking in when he said that?
Paganese.
Okay.
They're scared. I mean, you can't blame someone for being afraid.
He looks at you. He just kind of nods at you saying this.
What exactly is the problem? I'd say that we're more than enough.
That sword on your back will do you no good when the spirits return from the realm and rend your flesh from your bone.
Child, show him your sword. That'll shut him
smile.
up. And I pull out a
I-
wineskin and take a swig.
I smile and I say, "Which one?" And I take the first sword off my back, blood iron. This one, I say with half a smirk.
No, the smoky one. Magic.
Oh, pulling blood iron one back in its sheath, and I draw Oathkeeper as it bellows smoke off of its woody stone texture.
As you draw it, and he looks at it and he seems very interested in it. And he kind of reaches for it like he's going to touch it. Do you let him touch it, or do you pull it back? Or?
I like mentally, really quickly say, "Is this okay? Is this okay?"
It is fine.
Oh, okay. I sort of relax a little bit. Like, he might notice I was a little stressed for a second, not wanting him to touch it, and I relax and I let him.
He just rubs the sword a little bit, almost in awe of it. And he's like, this blade. Bears the blessing of the trolls, does it not?
Oathkeeper. It's a lot older than me, I say with a smile.
Perhaps we are not as helpless as I first thought. Good. In a cycle's time, the day of the harvest will be upon us. That is when we will act. I have a plan to deal with this. And,
Wait. I thought we were chained before.
oh yeah,
the
change.
day of
Sorry.
harvest.
I didn't mean to say cycle, but it's like a cycle.
Slightly confused.
The boy may be of more use than I originally thought. What is your name, child?
Titus Bram.
Are you a brave boy?
Try to be.
Good. We will need you to be brave.
You're saying these spirits, they aren't affected by normal weapons.
No. Spirits can only be affected by particular weapons.
Can't say I've ever fought a spirit before, but I also haven't ever met anything that the Iron Beast couldn't cut down.
Your sword may be well enough to cut down ogre and man, but it will do little against spirit. Boa?
Oathbreaker says you can kill the Reaper, but I don't have any way to see the Reaper.
Well, when the day of harvest comes, I have the perfect plan for us to draw this Reaper out. We will go to the shrine of Valex, and once we are there, we will force the priest to summon him before us, make him visible to us. And when that is done, you can use your blade to smite him.
But this Titus doesn't know how to use a sword.
I can use the sword. I look down a little bit. I'm just not very strong.
Well, didn't you say
Heavy.
you wanted me to help you? Want me to teach you?
Yeah. I like nod.
Boa,
Yes.
where are the boy's parents?
Ask him. I am not his keeper. I know not.
It's none of your business. Not here.
You're not from the village, are you?
No, I'm from Flame Dance.
Do you have a home in the village, anywhere you can stay? Your family, perhaps?
No.
Boa, would you take the child to your home?
I was taking a swig of my wineskin and I almost choke on it. I wipe my lip. Surely you jest.
If I even have a home left, I can take the child there to mine. If I'd be too much of a bother for you, old man.
You can have him. The innkeeper can have him. Anyone can have him. I don't want him in my house. I don't want you in my house. I want anybody in my house.
That is exactly why I want you to take him with you. He'll be safe there.
Sorry, but I don't trust this old orc with this young boy.
And who are
I'd like to... My name is Michael. It doesn't really matter who I am. Just a mercenary. But I'm trying to take care of Titus.
Then go with him.
Don't I have a say in this? It's my home.
You said you wanted to help with the spirit.
I
Did you
didn't say anything about housing two ruffians.
Hey now, I'm a ruffian.
I look at Oathkeeper. What do you think?
We must wait for the day of harvest for this ritual to be cast. What we do until then is of no real concern. I do not fear for our safety.
Sword says he doesn't care.
Will you or will you not go, Boa? Will you or will you not take them?
Fine, but you owe me.
I suppose recognition as a hero of the village would not be enough.
Of course not. The hell am I gonna do with that? They can't sustain my thirst. Can't feed me. Nothing but words. You know this.
I will supply you with a portion of the harvest.
Wine will do just fine.
Then wine it will be.
Very well.
I smile. Wow, I've been by myself for a while. Finally, I actually get to sleep under a roof.
So where exactly do you live, orc?
There's a ways from here. It's through the woods.
Well, it is. I kind of glance toward the door a little. It's very late.
You're very observant.
Have you light
I
source?
keep the sword out as it bellows mist. Don't worry, sword will make everything confusing so that no bad guys can find us.
I kind of glance down, kind of confused a little, looking at Titus.
I take the candle from the table and I get up. Let us be gone then. I start heading for the door.
Alright. and then you guys head off, and we're going to do a time skip of the next 11 days to the harvest. When does anybody have anything particular they want, any scene that they want to do in this time, over this time skip, or if not, then just give me a rough idea of what each of you are doing over these 11 days.
Chevre's just drinking, bored, wishing that he had something to kill or screw.
Kaldir actually takes care of your drinks, although he has a very specific time where it's like you can get drunk at this time, but he pays for your stuff in general. He's one of the wealthy people in this village. For reference, he also has an opulence of 3, which in the village is like, "Wee, I have money." And I am very interested in knowing you, although if you have like the slightest of insight, your presence. How much time again passes?
11 days, one chain.
Okay, so at the very beginning, it's mostly disgust. You really bother me in many ways, and I tolerate you. But as time passes, you do have how much of attractive?
He has a grade of attractive.
Okay, as time passes, I look almost not. I do not look disgusted almost none of the time, except when you say stuff really bad, and I really disapprove of anything negative being said about my child. I am clearly taking care that your needs are well met, and I even seem to be arranging that. It's not like I'm paying you, horse, but it's like the people I know that would probably do things with you, like, oh, I invite you to the tavern, and if something happens, something happens. I do not appear to be sexually interested in you at all, and because 11 days have passed, I'm gonna give you a bit of knowledge that all the other players probably know. I said it in the chat, and it's common knowledge of my character. My character is known to be nice even to those who don't deserve it, but he was usually very pro-Blex. He's very scared of witchcraft in general. Sorry. And he comes from a village where witchcraft apparently created a lot of zombies and weird happenings and disease and a lot of misery from which he has fled. So he's extremely, he's clearly very scared for his child right now. And well, that's some of the things that you would know in that time. Also, he is sincerely interested in knowing you. He tries not to be like, unless you are being hostile to his child, he's polite to you. He does his best so that you don't try to hit on him, because that really annoys him. And you probably know that he's known as a very much of a prude in the village. He says that proper males should guard themselves for marriage. He's a widow. But that's the name also for the guy, or is it a different name when it's a guy? English is not the first language, sorry.
It is widower for the male, I believe.
There you go, widower. Well, you know all these things, and pretty much that. I'm trying to keep you happy. There are just some things I want you to do, and that's about that. Mm-hmm. And I am trying to know you. So do tell me the things that your character would tell me about you. I do want to know which god you praise or whatever, and I do try to, in general, get to know you better.
I forget which god it was, and I'm pretty sure it was the god of love.
Yeah, Cinder.
Cinder or Bacchus? Bacchus is
Cinder.
the god of fucking things.
No. My guy genuinely believes that everyone he has sex with, he loves.
Adorable.
Because he's a narcissist.
There you go.
Oh, Jesus.
So he tells you that he worships Cinder. He tells you of a few tours he did during his time as a mercenary in different areas. He lets you know that he's probably a father to about at least 20 kids, minimum. Not that anyone could ever prove it.
Naturally.
And he never says anything bad about your kid. You paid him, so he's not going to try and piss you off.
Yeah.
And he generally appreciates that you are attempting to keep him entertained. And I assume that I at least get laid one time, DM Allen.
His greatest problem is with you being drunk. You
don't-
more depending on the village that the GM will help better with that, but maybe that would be like my rolling of. Actually, let's just fucking roll streetwise for me, so to
His
say
level of drunk.
how many opportunities I got him of getting fucking laid. If that's acceptable.
How many times
I just spread rumors and just treat well some people and then it's up to you to see if you make shit happen.
His
But
level
I'm
of drunk
not
is
happy.
very.
I'm trying you not to be fucking drunk. That's what worries me because you're the fucking defender. And if we're sleeping and you need to get out in the middle of the night, I want you fucking sober. Like all of that.
Fine. What I was gonna say is his level of drunk is very professional. It's buzzed. It's never rip roaring drunk. It's only slightly tipsy.
Take some of Alan's drunkenness advantages.
I mean,
Did you ever do his advantages?
His advantages are done.
Could you rephrase it? Like, okay, so you're saying the drunk thing. Well, yeah, he may notice like in 11 days, like maybe on the third day, like you had, like you can drink like at this time, and he definitely made a mental note of you not being like dead drunk, unconscious. And he seems to be more lax after that, but he still doesn't like you drinking simply because like you're like life to him right now.
Yeah.
So he wants you in your full senses. And if I should roll streetwise just to see how much opportunity this guy gets to get some going on, that would be
have
a
to go
fun roll
that
to
deep
do.
into it. At some point, I got laid. Statistics would say that I got sex at some point because my character stats are built towards there.
Also, satires have the natural ability to woo people.
I know.
Well,
Yeah, no. So you probably had like plenty of sex because I also I'm very accommodating, so you probably are very happy about that. And my general way of treating you, I seem to appreciate the fact that you act professionally, and a lot of my politeness seem to be along those lines.
So yeah, Shavir definitely was able to bed more than a few people if he so wished to, because his stats definitely speak to being able to do that. Boa, how did you react to having these people in your home?
I hated it. And the whole time I had to make sure they didn't touch this, they didn't do this, showed them where they slept, make sure they didn't break anything,
Go ahead and tell them about your house, by the way.
Well, it's old, it's rickety, it's made of wood, old wood. It's been patched and repaired numerous times. The inside, it's not that big at all. It's doesn't even have a bedroom. It has a bed, which it's in the main room. So there's one giant room. There's different herbs and stuff, garlic, whatnot, dangling from the ceiling. Bunch of mushrooms cultivating in the corner. Cauldron, various books scattered about. It's not homey at all. It's dank. There's holes. Air comes through. It's drafty. The one bed that he does have is older than he is, you imagine. Looks very uncomfortable. But doesn't matter because you two will be sleeping on the floor. On the hard wood floor. With, some old wool blankets that have been eaten by various insects and smell of, only the gods know what that smell is. And yeah, generally you have a bad time. It's roughing it to the extreme, in a way. But it's a roof on your head, and there's food.
Are my parents still alive?
Yes, but they want nothing to do with you, though.
Well, I tried to, and within those days, go visit them, seeing how my sister has just been taken, even if I don't get along with them.
Your parents aren't married, obviously.
No, but
Your mother was a peasant girl, and your father was a merchant. Your father does not live in this village. He was just passing through. So your mother is the only one who is still in the village.
I'll definitely make sure to try to visit her.
By the way, the two of you stay there for that chain. You only eat mushrooms unless you go to town and get your own food. I only cook mushrooms, but he cooks them very well. Various
I
stews.
forgot that. This is very important. You, what's her name? Chevra, you are eating like a fucking king. Like, this food is amazing.
Yes.
God damn it. Like, this food is amazing and there's variety. And by the way, after you do your thing, and maybe after a scene of your or wherever you say, I would like a small scene of chat with Chevra.
All right.
Okay.
I definitely try to also visit their place as well, the tavern, because I need some more food in my diet besides mushrooms. I'm a strong man. I need something in my diet besides cooked little mushrooms, some old orc man. I don't know what kind of mushrooms look at. I don't know what they do. I don't know what they do to my body. I don't know what. Might have ate them a couple
Whenever
times.
he does go into town, I encourage Titus wholeheartedly to follow him, tag along, leave.
I definitely don't. I don't want to leave Titus aside, so I asked him to come with me if I ever go to town, because I don't want to leave him. I don't want him to be in danger. I don't know how he feels about that. How you felt that Titus? You ever come with me?
Yeah, I'm definitely going into town at every opportunity.
Okay. Yeah, we basically just. I mean, I try to stay out of that place as much as I can.
He doesn't
But
want us there. Why would we spend time there when we could go to town and
Basically.
hang out with the badass Satyr?
All right.
Please, Bob.
I will be right back. I could use the bathroom, but you can go ahead and have your scene now. Alejandro, you and Chevrolet can have your scene. You wanted to talk to him, so you can go ahead and do that real quick.
All right, so you brought food recently, and he's eating at the table. This is pretty much the only time you feel like you can lock him down for any extended period of time. Otherwise, he's always doing something to try and distract himself.
Actually, to be completely fair, like you are like I'm attached to you. Like if you're not fucking with someone, I'm fucking close to you. And
okay.
like and what's the name? And my kid, like Diruk, is also close to you. And Diruk probably has gotten like to really like you because you haven't insulted him again. And when you did, like he looked genuinely hurt and sad. And he probably by now kind of likes you because in general he's joyful and he quickly attaches to people that spend time around with him. You also notice that he is stupid good, like catching rats and eating them, and this annoys the fuck out of me. Because a proper male, proper anyone should not eat meat, much less fucking rats. And I was gonna say a lot of things. So yeah, like I'm spending a lot of time with you, and I'm being very paranoid about this and about the others going to the tavern. You notice that that usually, like maybe we can do a joint scene, but usually there are some people that attend there, like waiters and waitresses, and I usually attend people, but I seem to be particularly wary of attending either Titus or what's the name of Thomas's character? Michael. Yes, since the thing with the witches and such. Although it could be interesting, like if we could, like this has happened for most of those 11 days, but maybe for that maybe on the like day yesterday of that, like maybe if we can devise a fair reason, like maybe you really, I don't know, like you were on a table, these guys approached us and we were already there and they didn't get that I was kind of avoiding them because it could be cool to be like all talking in the same place,
Yeah, because I guess me and Titus stay in the tavern a lot because Titus likes the satire, so we stay here a lot. I kind of I'm very helpful around the tavern. I kind of offer my assistance a lot. I let you know that over my course of my journeys as a mercenary, I have learned to cook fairly well, so I could help you with that. And also, I could be a very effective mounter if needed as well. I double as, an unpaid mounter because, I don't need payment.
So let me be clear. You at some moment told or tried to told Kaldir that you would like to serve there as a waiter and as a bodyguard.
Basically, I let you know that I can help you. Yeah, basically in any way that
That could be a cool scene to do.
Okay.
So that the chat could be like I don't know, like maybe on the first 3 days of this chain that we would wait.
Okay.
To establish some of that. That could be a cool scene. And before that, I was kind of like avoiding you, but like maybe I'm in the table with Chevre, and he's eating like goddamn it, like so fucking tasty. Like few people are eating this well. There's probably rumors and chatter that we're fucking, but this is not happening. That we're a couple now because like we are fucking like all the time together.
I don't know if how do you say the name? Chevre? Chevre might try to get me. Like I said, I do have 3 grades of attractive as well. I don't know if he's about that.
Not all satyrs
you're the guy
go
with the
both
sword,
directions.
right?
Yeah, I'm the guy.
I do go both directions though. You're
very-
the sword guy. He wants to fight you first, and then he'd probably try to get with you.
Oh snap!
Okay, by the way, I tell you, Trevor, like, you are not allowed to fight yet. I want you in top tip condition. So that's why in part one, I'm just having you with food. I'm just spreading rumors and saying how cool you are. I'm just like, look, like this new person that's very attractive and just heard a lot about you. And you just
Those two
eat and cook and I'll look this other way. Like, I'm trying to really get in your good graces and pay you stuff, but I'm being like you can't do this and you can't do this because you must be the perfect defender, So this is what I'm doing.
Those two finally fight. Thomas stabs the satyr, and the satyr says,
I don't
Damn.
fight. I try my best to avoid the fight. I don't want to fight him. I let him know that I basically just do. I only basically fight. As Michael said, I only fight. When I have to, basically.
But the joke would be he stabs the satyr, and the satyr looks at him and then smiles and says, "I hope that's not the only thing you're sticking in me today."
Thanks.
No, that's gross. You're a kid.
Fucking damn it. God fucking damn it. The question is, when something else is sticked, will there also be blood? Anyways. Is that also? Does he have a second ogre iron? Anyway, I am sorry.
So Thomas, are they both equally thick?
I am sorry. This joke was trusted on me.
I mean, I guess somebody could try to find out. They might not. I mean, they try to find out what's.
Are they both equally thick?
I mean,
God fucking damn it.
Who knows?
Interesting statement.
I'm just saying
It's
that
a possibility. I mean, but who knows?
I'm just saying that Thomas's character that Michael has 3 in attractive. So if he wants to be the thicker one, he can. He probably can. So anyway, like
Just for
we
Aaron,
can we can do that scene if that's cool
Aaron
for all
is
of you.
new
Like
to
I'm eating close to Chevra, and the rookie's playing around.
Also, Aaron, I'd like to say that seeing how he's new to the Ring of Fire. I'd like to say that having 3 grades of attractive means that you are the because like me having 3 grades of attractive means that I am one of the most attractive people of my species. Okay, I'm one of the most attractive humans in the whole of Quaketail. Yeah, I'm one of the most attractive people. So you have probably never seen a human as attractive as me. I wouldn't imagine. If you go both ways, I imagine. Well, then so seeing how you go, girls and
like
boys.
I said, he would. If you're a warrior, he has to fight you first. That's the foreplay for him.
Oh dang!
All right, so Michael, you said you're going to offer your assistance to be a waiter and a bodyguard. So you can go ahead and play that out then.
Okay, so I guess this is the how many days into this is this? Weren't you saying something, Alejandro?
About 3, I think he said.
Yeah, Alejandro, your mic's muted again. I need you.
I just go on and do the introduction. Do your character walking up to him. He's
back. Sorry, I just had a nature's call. Okay, so we're starting. Like
at this point,
we probably start with unless as anyone has another idea. Like we can start like as I was saying, like Chevrolet is kind of like on his main meal of the day, and we were kind of talking. It's like the third day of the 11 days that would have passed, or you tell me which day you think you'd approach me, or
well, Titus wants to go and hang out with the satire with Chivry. So
Okay.
I'm guessing this might even be like just a day after. This might have been like just a single day into the chain, maybe because
Yeah.
we go there.
But
I'd say at
that's-
least day two, because like the first day I'm practically like there's definitely like everyone thinks we're fucking, because like day one, maybe even day two, I'm like in my room with the kid and the satyr, and that's it.
Okay,
know?
I guess it's the third day then, because we're just
Yeah.
kind of getting settled on the third day. Then okay, so
Yeah.
I guess they're over there. Chevrolet's eating his feast fit for a king, and Titus, what are you doing?
Well, I'm going to the bar and sit right next to the satyr.
Okay, and I'm going to. I'm sorry, Alejandro. How do you say your character's name?
Chaldeer. By the way,
Chaldeer.
the satyr just like he's sitting. Let's say that just come there right this second. And I put like a big bowl filled with corn balls, which is basically like giant, basically what it sounds, like giant balls made of corns stick together with different vegetable matters. And I pretty much only serve, vegetarian food here. I think meat eating is disgusting and unacceptable. Um, and yeah, there's a lot of everything smells fucking amazing. And I serve him some juice. Sorry, some corn balls, some pumpkin. A lot of stuff.
I was
Hey,
about to say I don't want to eat any Jews, but thank you.
Oh,
God.
I'm messing with you, dude.
like I say this, no, but you're saying in character, right?
No. I was just fucking with you.
Okay, so I'm leaving that in the table, and I look at you almost like seeking for approval. Like, is this good? And it fucking smells amazing.
And he's eating it with gusto. He's not answering your question, but the question is answered.
Yeah, I never asked. It was just like a body language thing, and you reply with body language. So it's like it's all good as well. You see, like he got that gusto smile of yes, my food is amazing. And I think that's when I see you, Michael, coming
Yeah.
by. Okay.
So I put you
Yeah.
here.
You notice for a second, worry on my face. You may tell how much you notice or not, depending on your insight. It's somewhat easy to notice. Like for a split second, I look at almost like if you were coming to stab me, and then it completely changes to a blanket, pleasant customer service face, and like hello.
I have 4 in top, by the way. Just so you know. But so I go there and so I was looking for something to do around here, and I wanted to let you know that, well, I could maybe help out around here if you'd like me to. Seeing how you don't really mind who I am, I've learned how to cook fairly well on my journeys as a mercenary, and well, obviously I can keep any unwanted guest away from you. For saying all I would ask for is just, food, really.
I look at you like the customer service face kind of fades again when you speak about these things. I don't look extremely scared like I look like for a split second, but it looks like I'm slightly
Are
worried.
you
Like
behind the counter right now?
right now, like imagine there's one of these tables, and Chevre is right there, and I just served him food, and then you
Okay.
came. That's okay by you, and I'm like my face is like I'm considering it. I tilt it slightly to a point. My lips, like they press together, like they make themselves thin for a second. I say, yes, I look at your sword. I look at you. You notice I look down. You maybe notice I'm like actually looking at your hands, back at your face, and my eyes flicker quickly
My
between
sword is again next to the door again. By the way, 'cause I don't carry it around the place, seeing how it's so big. I just kind of leave it.
I leave one of my swords by the door. I mean, I don't leave be both being further away than 5 feet from me at any given time, but it's definitely in scabbard and on my back. I'm not gonna take it out of the scabbard in the middle of a tavern. That's just dumb.
Yeah,
Okay.
in general, you are encouraged, Chevrolet. You're encouraged to keep your weapons, but if they're not to, if you have some weapon in you, it's like okay. I'm very paranoid. I'm like Mama Bear, but I'm Papa Bear. It's like anything could happen. Kids are being kidnapped. I don't know. I don't care.
Oh, Trevor, you said that you keep your claymore on your table. You said.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So back to yeah. So like kind of everything I described, like he does that very quickly. Like his eyes go to all these places very quickly, and he says, "Yes, I know it's different. When you just come to town. I look at the like at the place where food usually comes from. I look back at you. I guess I could see how you cook. I say you're good with a sword. Is Titus anywhere around, by the way?
He said he'd be right back, but he did say he ran
Oh.
up and sat down next to the satyr.
Okay. Yeah. Well, for now, anyways, like my character, like just quickly glanced at him at a sword, and then happened what I just described. Um, I yes, that could be helpful. And Diruk like comes like close to you, and he's like in the middle of you, Michael, and you, Chevra, and he looks like he got that jumpy like when you jump, but the front part of your feet are still on the ground, and the
Uh-huh.
heels are not. Like he's very excited, and he's moving both his arms, and and you see Caldir's disapproving look.
I smile at him. Yeah, I seem kind of pleased at the way he seems so excited and stuff. And
I look at you as you smile to him, and then a big white smile comes to me. Yes, 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 you can stay. I'll teach you. Come, Daruk even, he's not bad. He can also teach you. Come with me, come. And I'll
Alright.
go towards the kitchen, and I'll show you where things are. I'm gonna pay a lot of attention towards you. And Daruk actually like seems kind of excited, and he starts like taking out some stuff. Not nothing near the knives, but like some stuff. Like he seems to be showing you like, oh, like this is here, like this is here.
you see, I'm sort of familiar with the things that would be in a kitchen. I seem to know pretty well about the things. Like I don't know, I'm not like no master or anything of culinary, but I do have I have a couple grades in it, so I have some sort of understanding of it. So I seem to know most of the items in here.
Yeah, and I like give you some vegetables to chop, and I go like, well, let's start you up with this, and then you can do the dishes.
I'm happily helping around. I'm just doing. I basically really helpful. I'd be really nice to your child. I guess I sort of I noticed pretty quickly. I guess that he doesn't seem to know how to talk because I do try to definitely over the days I try to talk with him and stuff. And overall you kind of get this thing that I seem to be very good around children, and I seem to like me, and I just on a mechanical out of mechanical thing. I have Defender of the Innocent,
Hmm.
so I'm all about it basically, and basically it might seem like I'm some sort of rugged mercenary a little, but really I'm just a nice guy,
Mhm.
and I just kind of I'm just really friendly, and I don't know I will fight, but I will only fight to basically help others and to defend people.
Okay,
Basically,
that's very interesting. Okay, so then as the 11 days pass, like you would definitely, my character would probably, he would have somewhat of a difficult time because in a way, like he feels like he seems to be open up emotionally more to Michael, and he feels very at ease when he looks at you with a child, and you look like you understand each other. But sometimes, well, depending on your insight, you will know if you get it or not. I guess if you have like, I don't know, four or above, you
I
get
have
it.
four insight.
Awesome. Then you get like there are sometimes like most of the time, like many times I look at you almost like this is like oh, like they almost look like family. I'm like, oh, this is really nice. And then there are other times where I look at you like there's something horribly wrong with you being close to him, or I'm really really scared. And I usually then call my child, but then I change my face, but really quickly, and I call my child with some bullshit excuse of him needing to go somewhere.
And also, you do see I do get around surprisingly quickly to be such a well built young man with with this armor on, this leather armor on. I have 11 dexterity and I have a 20 speed, so I'm getting around pretty quickly. I get around pretty fast. So I do things pretty fast,
Okay.
and yeah, I'm
Titus.
basically eager to learn
Awesome.
and
Yeah.
helping whenever I can.
So Titus, what would you be doing on these 11 days? As I think we've more or less established, like I'm basically trying Trevor to feel like extremely well taken care of, so that our professional relationship, well, he's my bodyguard, is amazing. I'm kind of opening up to Michael, and he tries to be very service. I'm not sure the word in English right now. Helpful, I guess, in general, and there's kind of a feeling of friendship, but it's kind of awkward sometimes, and there's a tension that happens sometimes,
And just to
and
point
that
out,
happens among the days. What are you saying, Thomas?
I as you can assume, I never say anything bad about your child, and I actually go to the point of if anyone actually does, I will get on to them, and get kind of angry out of any. I seem to have that. I seem to share. It kind of seems like I share your care for your child almost.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and you definitely sense a very strong approval. My character, like socially, he is powerful, so you can sense that approval, and you sense that as you sense the other thing I told you that rarely happens, but it has happened, and it is like he's seriously unnerved at those moments.
Okay.
So I was asking you, okay, like I got more or less clear what happens in these 11 days with our relationship with those two characters. Titus, what would you be doing in that time? And
Most of the time, I'm just swapping stories with the satyr because I enjoy, I enjoy like just generally having fun. I just love people that are over the top a little bit and energetic. And the satyr was, between Thomas's character and the satyr. Uh, what was his name? Um, Kevia, right?
Chevrolet,
Chevrolet.
nice Caldeer.
Kevia. Between
Oh.
Kevia and Thomas's character, they were the two
Call
that really,
like Callus, I guess, and deer like a deer, I guess. Called.
Kevia. They're they really they let me talk, and they treated me with decent amount of respect. So I'm already have a pretty high opinion of the two, and they know how to use swords. Also, I've been spending the last 11 days learning how to use a sword better.
Okay.
I mean, to put it in retrospect, I have 1 point in swords, but I have a whopping 7 in strength, so I literally get no bonus to swords whatsoever.
I do definitely make sure to take the time. I wasn't just joking or anything. I actually do take the time to teach you how to better use your sword if any chance I get. So it's up. You trying to say something, Bub?
No.
Okay.
Well, and then given we're more or less know how it's going, I actually then would like to make the scene then with you, Michael.
Huh?
As you are chopping some carrots, maybe at the kitchen. Anyone else that may want to be there, may be there. But
I suppose at this time I'm how many days into the chain is this?
let's say this scene happens like on day 10.
All right, at this point I have I just have normal clothing on. I don't have my armor on. I'm just kind of getting into the daily life basically, and so right now I just have normal clothes, common clothes on, and I'm basically just being like a little helper, basically.
So You're chopping some vegetables, and I'm chopping some vegetables, and we are one close to the other. There's probably people on here, and there are some waitresses serving them. There's like a heathen playing the lyre around there as he serves some people, and you can hear the knife on on the wood, on the chopping wood. I'm not sure how's the name. Um, well, actually, no. Um, it would be a knife on a copper plate, incomparable as that maybe that you can be hearing right now. Clank, 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 clank. And I tell you, the 11th day would be the day of Lex, right?
Yes.
So I say, Druk, go to your room for a moment. Tell Chavra to accompany you there. I need to speak a moment with Michael. I say that to Druk, and he immediately like looks at me, kind of like tilts his head to side, nods, and he goes look at it like at Chavra. And I look at you, Michael, and I say, his day is coming.
And so it has. You know, I I can't help but to think that my sister might be dead. Oh, I'll just make it.
That must be really painful.
Well, I'm not gonna give up. I'm gonna do everything I can to find her. She was the main reason I came back. You see, my captain, my Bleerob, an ogre. My sword was his. He named it the Iron Beast. He was killed on a job we had, and after he passed away, that's when I decided to come back. And my sister Annabelle was the main reason I did come back, and to see that she's been gone for about a cycle is devastating to me. But even if she has been killed or whatever those spirits have done to her, I'll make sure, at the very least, to see to it that nothing else happens to any of the children else in this place. Make sure to keep all of you safe, no matter what it takes.
The knife stops cutting when you start talking about all the children, and he looks at your face. His mouth is just slightly open. He's trying to search in your eyes.
I'm kind of looking down a little, like I'm kind of, bothered by this sort of talk. But I continue to cut, I continue to get the food ready.
I put two of my fingers in your chin and lift your face so that you look at my eyes. I'm looking at you with a ruthlessness that's not common in me. That actually only happens when it's about my kid. How does your face react, and do you let yourself be pulled? Because I do not have 12 strength.
Yeah, I
two
do.
fingers.
I'll let you do what you will. I just kind of,
How does your face look when I am looking at it?
I kind of have a seriousness about like, and I see that, your face is not normal. I kind of, go to face of like, sternness about it, and
I look to down and to the left for a second. My hands wrinkle my skirt, and I frown slightly. I look back at you again with those piercing eyes, and you can tell that what I am saying comes from my heart. I could never know what you feel about your sister, but Diruk is he's everything I have, and I worry that you and that child with that sword You will invite his wrath.
I place my hand on your shoulder. Don't worry. Everything is gonna be all right. I'll make sure of it.
Can you make sure of it? Is it? You humans, you look strange. You try to be strong like
I
women.
smile at you.
I
That's because we are strong. You know, a person strength is not all about muscle and, the weight of one's blade. This these things they don't really matter. Of course they help, but it's about one's heart, their willingness to help and their will to do things. And I I have a strong desire to make sure that nothing like this happens to anyone else, whether it be a child or not. And I will see this through. All of you will be safe, even if I'm the only one that protects you. That's a promise that I intend to keep.
Diruk, he. I go back to chopping the vegetables, but I keep talking. Kong, the metal. He looks up to you. I tried. I tried really hard. He's just 31 cycles old, yet he acts like. I know he's not freeing. He's not an ogre either. He looks up to you. I'm afraid he will be like you. I don't think he will be a proper male. Tang. The cutting words just sounds harsher. I'm afraid that he will follow up with his wide eyes. Maybe he will follow the kid with the sword, the mist. I'm afraid that you are all easily swayed, gang, by your emotions, like we are. Like you wanna see it. They didn't see it too. Clang. My past village. They all follow their witch. Clang. They all follow their witch, and now they're gone. Clank. He passed all the vegetables to one side. And all the metal. Now they're gone. He puts like the knife on the clunk again. You know it sounds, and that palm is on the knife and on the plate. I know you care for him. I care for him too.
I believe you
Yes,
should.
I was. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry about your mother. She followed that witch. I know your sister was not to blame. But if you follow that bit witchcraft that blacks, it comes for you. It comes for
See,
you.
I'm not exactly a firm supporter of the witch or anything like that. It's just the fact that I side with him is because the Valex has taken my sister. That's the only reason why I do. I'll not stand by while some, as Titus would say, bully messes with innocence like that.
You speak of protection. I can understand revenge. And then he said something he shouldn't. I mean like I can't, but he gulps. You're acting out of it. You're not acting for protecting the village. You just want revenge for your sister, and you don't care. You don't care about what happens to my kid. His lower lip trembles. You don't care. You think you love him, but you're not willing to do what must be done.
And how do I prove to you that I will do something?
Stop.
I know it seems that all I care is for revenge, but why? I just care for justice and to seeing that things are set as they should be.
He shakes his head slowly as you're saying this.
As I've just said, I'm fairly certain that my sister is dead. Yet I'm still perfectly willing to help others. What more do you want from me?
There is no justice in this world. There is just those who are alive, those who get dead, and those who can do that. I'm sorry, and I leave. I just leave. I go out, and I go towards my room where I ask Dirk to be.
And as you're walking off, I kind of speak louder. And so what if justice isn't in this world? I'm still not going to give up.
I turn back when you say that. A full
If
turn.
justice doesn't exist, then I will create it.
Well, then what is justice good for if more kids go missing? We don't even know if he was Blex. What if he was that witch of yours? We don't know anything.
Then we'll find out. And we'll end it.
You better do, but I sure hope you don't end that which you're trying to protect. And I go back to my room.
All right, and Bua. This is something. This is the 11th day now.
All right.
The Titus and Michael are out at the tavern still, as they have often done. They're almost like they're not living with you, really. They only really come back to sleep. So you've enjoyed much quiet time to yourself. Then you hear a rapid banging on your door. It's not quite dusk yet, but getting close to dusk. You know, Michael and Titus, it's too early for them to return now. They won't be here for another hour, maybe two. But you hear someone banging on your door rapidly and frantically on the door of your old dilapidated shack.
I approach the door and I look out the window and I look to see who's banging on my door so
You see a
feverishly.
young woman, maybe in her late teens, but she looks to be pregnant, and she's like grasping her stomach, and she bangs on your door.
Where is it?
This is at his shack. Nobody's here with him right now. What?
Was it human? Ogre?
Human,
What
yes.
is it?
It's human.
Okay. Well, I go to the door and I have a I open up the door, just a little crack. What do you want?
I need your assistance, please. The baby, it is coming. She looks very distressed.
I usually don't deliver them in my own home. Fine, come in. I open the door.
She walks in to the door and like leans against the wall, holding her stomach, and that's how like a small scream, like I can feel it. It's coming.
Just my luck. I go over to this cabinet I have, and I take out some clean sheets like linens, and I lay them on the old rickety, dilapidated bed.
She
And I tell her to lie down.
Also, a note for you. She's here by herself, which, the father's not here. You weren't called to the house. All this is very odd. It's not often that they come all the way out into the woods to your house taking you. It's usually somebody calls you out to the house of the parents, but she's alone by herself in the woods near nighttime. This all is something that's rather uncommon, something you don't normally see.
Did you bring the payment?
I don't have the payment, but please, I promise, I'll pay you. I'll pay you afterwards. She lets it back under the screen.
What are you doing out here by yourself?
I have no choice. I had no choice but to come to you. No one in the village would help me.
Why is that?
I went against the wishes of my father. He's cast me from his house.
He must be very powerful to have the whole village turn you into a pariah.
You're the only one. I can ask for help.
Very well. Fine. God damn it. I go in there and I start boiling some water. I start preparing my salves and everything. On such short notice, I normally already have them with me. So she's just gonna have to hold that thing in for a little while. I work fast.
Preparing the baby begin. She goes into full labor. As you're preparing.
You couldn't hold on another minute. I take what I have. I put it on the table. I drag the table over there.
All right.
I'm guessing the water's not even boiled yet. Well, I guess we just do it then. I need to roll. I need to roll some rolls.
You make your barber roll.
No, I gotta go use the bathroom, guys.
So that is a 5. That's 5d8.
No, 2d8, and then this
2d8 plus 5. Yeah, that's right. Hold on, I got it right here.
No, you have a forte, and it's 2.
Well.
Oh, yeah, you didn't add your intelligence or your forte bonus.
Nope, I sure didn't. It's all her fault for rushing me coming in here. Okay. So
that would give you a total of 18. Yeah, because the 3 doesn't count because the 1 cancels the 8.
Okay.
So you'd have a total of 18 there.
18 then.
Alright. As the time goes by and the woman, screaming in pain, and then you're applying the different salves and you're getting the rags ready and everything, and you're helping her go through it and reassuring her, and then the wind begins to pick up, and the wind almost like howling outside as your windows blow open, and the dusk slowly creeps back to night, and then you hear your door open to your home, and
I stand up and I sharply turn.
You see Titus walk in. Michael is not too far behind him. He had to go and use the bathroom out in the bushes outside of your house before he gets there. But Titus walks in to the place coming home from the tavern. And Titus, you see this scene going on before you, this birthing scene happening before you. How do you react to this?
Okay, I'm back.
Titus is so stunned he just can't speak.
Oh, sorry, I was muted again.
Okay, yeah, but how do you react to this?
Like a normal person?
Yeah,
normal child at least. My eyes widen as I realize what's happening, and being a kid, I find this disgusting and gross. So I'm
here too, by the way.
Yeah, you're outside right now, and I said you'll walk in.
I run outside and close the door, and I go, Michael, don't go inside yet.
I'm assuming they would have heard the ungodly screams as they were walking towards the house.
Yeah. Alright, so what do you respond to this, Michael? You hear Titus warning you.
What's going on?
I think he's delivering a baby.
Well, I don't know anything about that, really.
Exactly. That's why we should just sit here as I sit down in the grass.
Maybe I could help. I got kind of scratching my head a little, kind of nervous. I know a little, not much.
And Boa, you hear them. In between her screams, and she's taking breaths, and you hear them talking about possibly trying to come in here and help you.
That is just what I need. Just what I need. What have I done to deserve this, huh? I just look up to the sky. I'm like, okay, push, breathe.
And then, like a one final big push out, you see hooves.
Huh. Now I know why. I pull it out. So wait, it came out hooves first, right?
Yeah.
That's not normal.
Oh, by the way, technically this isn't canon because satires can't have babies with humans, but it was too good to pass up. So I'm just tweaking it a little bit here. But
Gracias.
all right,
Supposed to come out head first, so I automatically assume the baby's got like the umbilical cord wrapped around its neck or something.
Actually,
yeah.
technically, since we're dealing with a witch, if the witch is status 10, he could have cast Impossible Child.
But there's some way it happened. Just don't worry about the details. It just happened. You know?
I'm blaming the witch.
All right, so you see the feet come out first, the little hooves, the little hairy legs and hooves.
All right, well, I told her to keep pushing, and I started pulling on them.
You start pulling on it and pulling it out, and then you see like the little nub of the horns come out, and you see it has the umbilical cord is wrapped around his neck.
I reach over there and I grab a dagger from the table, and I cut the umbilical cord, unwrap it from his neck.
But you swiftly unwrap it, and with your roll, you successfully deliver the baby. So you cut it, and you can go ahead and describe anything you do.
Well, is he breathing? Is it breathing?
Yeah, he's breathing barely. He has shallow breaths.
Well, I take him. I whisk him over to the table, and I start.
Okay, the baby's not crying. It's like kind of gasping almost.
Well,
right?
I need to make some rolls now. I gotta make sure the baby don't die in my house. I don't need a haunted house. Haunted, freaking set to your baby.
Haunted baby house.
Haunted by a baby satyr ghost. God damn, that'd be terrifying.
So I make another barber roll.
You need the necromancer just to change that diaper, motherfucker. Just to change that diaper.
Yeah, go ahead and make another barber roll real quick.
So I had what, +8 to my roll?
Yes.
Oh, same exact thing.
All right. You what do you do?
Well, I start by I hold him in my hand, face down, and I start rubbing and patting his back, making sure that he hasn't got anything in his airways. He doesn't basically baby CPR on him a little bit, or Heimlich maneuver, and I get some of my salves. I rub it on his chest. I rub it, put some under his nose. I try to clear his airwaves up. Maybe look down there, see if anything's choking on him. I don't know.
And then as you're just doing these things, and you open his airways with these salves, and you pat him on the back a little bit, and he coughs up some fluids, and then the baby just bursts out crying all of a sudden as you freed up his airways.
Well, I wrap him up, hand him back to her. There you go, one baby. But before I do, I take what I customarily take.
All right, well, and then as you take that, before she doesn't even notice, she's like worn out, and he's like, yeah, "Thank you. I promise you the payment as soon as I can."
Don't forget it.
I like poke my head into the door finally. Is everything okay?
We're kind of both poking in a little bit. No?
Yes, y'all come in, make yourself useful, clean up this mess. I need a drink. I go over there and pull out some wine, start drinking.
I set down my sword outside of the place this time, just not to see him, so not to scare her basically, and I go in kind of carefully. So
I look at the baby, and then do I notice the baby has horns?
It has like little nubs. It doesn't have like full horns yet, but it has little horn nubs on it.
I look at this.
So this is all happening at Bao's house, right?
Yeah, out there in the woods. You're still at the tavern right now, so you don't know what to do. Impossible.
Life is great. I don't know any of my children. Lone and free. I
say quietly, "Huh. I didn't know humans could have horns.
I didn't either.
I take a swig out of my wine. It's not just a human, it's a satyr. Look at the damn
I
feet.
raise an eyebrow, and then I look at her, and then I look at Michael, and I smile and I say, "We only really know one satyr, right?"
Uh, well, I
Hope
guess
there are lots of them.
two. I suppose there are more than a few here, although seeing how much our friend gets around, it could be.
I start giggling a little uncontrollably, much as a child would.
I just kind of rubbed the back of my head again.
I come back in from my from the kitchen, and it's immediate that my hood is lowered. This is the first time anyone's seen me with my hood lowered, and I look different. I look strange. I look pretty hideous.
Oh, dang.
I have
That's got it.
I have just a crater, a hole where one of my eyes used to be, and my skin is bark-like, basically made of bark, and I have leaves, little leaves growing, and sparsely on my body as well, my face, my head. But I don't seem to care. I just got a bottle of wine in one hand. I come in there and I just take a swig from my wine.
I kind of squint my eyes at you a little bit. You're not you're no normal orc. I can say that for sure.
So, I sort of like gently nudge Michael. Don't judge people based on how they
I'm not
look.
judging. I'm just saying that he has leaves growing out of his body. I'm not one to judge. It's just
And
I don't know
have a
what he
fucking
is.
sword.
Yes. I have leaves. I have tree bark. I have one eye.
I'm not trying to say anything bad about you. It's just I don't know what you are.
You deliver
He's
a
not.
baby.
I
Tell me how you feel.
start, helping clean up the mess a bit with, rags and such.
All right. And while you guys are cleaning up that, you wanted a scene with Shavir, right? A hunter?
Correct.
Okay, go. You can go ahead and do that now while they're cleaning up the baby mess.
Sure thing. So, I am basically in my room, and I've called. Well, actually, I'm in my room, and Druk is there, and probably Trevor is going there after maybe having had fun somewhere else. So you may describe, Trevor, how you come in or wherever.
He comes in stretching. He puts his claymore on the table again. Makes a habit of that, making sure that people can see it, because the greatest deterrent to combat is showing force up front. And he just kind of sits down in the bar proper and just starts looking around. He looks like he's distracted.
That could probably, like, maybe I'm usually there. Remember, I'm in my room, so maybe after some time, like, I wasn't there, maybe you come in, unless you want to do a scene there before you.
When you come in, he waves again.
That's my. Well, yeah, sure. I go there. I don't find you. I go there. I go like, oh, you're here, Trevor.
Yep. This whole thing still hasn't blown over, so I'm here until it ends.
Yes. Well, the day of Lex is coming soon. They worry much, particularly that day. You will not drink anything, and I hope you had your fun already, because you will not leave my side or your side at all during the whole day.
All right.
Definitely not until the long night has passed. Definitely not on the day of Felsen. So I hope you had a very good time. And if you need more good time, go now. You will not depart from us.
Okay.
Okay. And after I say that, I look out like I'm considering something. I gulp. My like Dirk is like just going like he's chasing a rat, and I always just like tell him to stop, but I'm not even saying that right now. And how I sit like very close to you. I am like at less. I'm around arm's length to you. I'm seated. I'm kind of hunched. I haven't served you food, which is uncommon, very uncommon. And yeah, I look like distracted at the moment.
He's eating, and he notices you look different, and he says, "What's bothering you?"
Oh, uh, no, what I told you. I mean, I'm thinking of Michael. I'm afraid he will. I gulp. I'm afraid what he may do.
What are you afraid he's gonna do?
I don't know. Maybe get himself kidnapped. The day of Lex is tomorrow.
He's fine. He totes around the big sword. It looks like he can use it. He ain't got nothing to worry about.
Yes, I
Nah.
guess that could be so. I I narrow my eyes. I look at the table, and some 3 breaths pass. I was. I regret what I said to him this morning. He has
And
lost.
that would be.
I was. I don't really remember. He was opening up to me about something dear to him, and I accused him. It was not. I don't do these things. It's not proper. It's not proper to do these things. I shouldn't have done it. It was wrong.
Well, I mean, that sounds like the long and short of it. If you know it's wrong, then you should go apologize to him.
I like raise my head as if something like important or wise has been said. I look at you, at your face. How do you look?
Um, Pretty uninterested. He's just
So,
chewing on
after-
the food. Like he seems like he's legitimately likes the food, but he's just his face reeks of boredom.
So like when I notice this and like my eyes like just move quickly and I'm like no, no, that's ridiculous. No, thank you, thank you. You're a good ear. Thank you. Um, Daruk, come with me. We're going to sleep. Chevra, you should come soon. You will. You can sleep sitting down, right? You will do that next to our bed. You will not come in. You will have your sword close by.
He nods his head. All right.
You have not drunk tonight, right?
And he goes, "Well, I drank about 2 hours ago, but I mean that should run off pretty quick."
Good, good, good. Yes, yes. Well, I'm going to my room now. I must meet. Thank you. You're a good ear. And I go back to my room, and Dirk like follows, and then I go like, drop that. And he drops the rat. That wiggles, like, just runs away. Apparently, he hasn't like killed it yet.
All right, and we'll switch back over to the scene with the baby. You guys have just finished cleaning up everything. The woman is recovering now. Boa, you know her name. She is Fatty Hain. Is her name? Oh, not Hain. Sorry, Delaria. Fatty Delaria is her name. And
Fatty.
yeah,
Like FADDY?
FADDE. I'm pretty sure.
Oh.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, fatty. And she's young, about well, not necessarily too terribly young, but she's roughly around 18. Maybe give or take a few months off of that, or a few cycles. And she was to be promised to Vance Hayne, the previous ruler of the village, before he was exiled. So this child is going to be quite a controversy. That's just a note. You can do with it what you will. You're the only one currently present who would know this information, but you are aware of that.
So, girl, who's the father?
He's a satyr who.
Oh, really? I never would have guessed.
Ha!
His name is Shavir.
Hmm. Interesting.
Would you mind accompanying me to my residence? It's late, and I'm fearful to return there on my own.
I raise my hand. I'll go.
We can take you there.
I will accompany you too because I demand my payment.
Yes, of course. I fully intended to pay you once we arrived.
Very well then. Let me grab my
And I
my
have to
bag.
ask, you do plan on taking care of this child, don't you?
Yes, of course. Of course. We stop by the tavern first.
You really shouldn't be walking. Your stitches must heal.
I must walk. I must return to my home so I can retrieve your payment.
Yes, but we do not need to make any unwanted and unneeded distractions.
I wish to inform Shavir of his child's birth.
I'm sure he'll be thrilled.
I say, why don't I go to the tavern and you two take her home?
That would be fine.
I don't want you to be alone, Titus.
I pat the swords on my back. I may not be great with these, but just drawing it alone is frightening enough to scare most people away, especially wolves or any other kind of animals. I'll be fine.
All right. I look over there at Bua. How's their name? Nothing.
Bua.
And about this payment, what do you even want from me?
Well, are you paying it?
I will.
That's interesting. There's only payment that she can pay. Although if you wish, you could buy the wine.
You want wine and something else?
Yes.
Fine. Let's get going then.
I reach into like a little box next to the door, sort of like a little umbrella stand, like a homemade rough. It's got a bunch of homemade torches in there from old logs that have fallen, tree branches and whatnot. And I grab one and I step outside and light it.
All right, and it is late dusk, almost night. Now it's not quite nighttime, but it is getting, maybe a few hours, and it's going to be nighttime. Like 2 hours or so. It's pretty dusk right now, and you start going off, and we'll switch over to Titus as he runs to the tavern, because you guys are going to the farmlands on the map. So you're going through the town to the farmlands, but Titus, you run up to this to the tavern, and what do you do once you're there?
Severe.
Hey, what's up, little guy?
I smile. You are not gonna believe this. Well, maybe you will, because what I've heard of you, this sounds very believable, but...
And what am I probably going to believe?
Is this the same day he was to go to the room?
This is the day of the harvest right now.
Oh, okay, good.
So if all possible, like I said, I do want to get.
Well,
Then I'm like next to him with Diruk.
well, it would appear that you're a dad, I guess.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, okay. She just wanted me to let you know.
And then he goes, wait, she? As in, like, now? As in,
Yes.
like, this just happened?
As in, I like look outside. Couple hours ago.
Well, it was nice seeing you all. Okay. Javier goes, huh.
As a note, like the second he said like you're a dad now, like I put a face of God, like God damn it, and I covered the ears of Dirk.
And Shavir just kind of thinks on that for a moment.
Don't worry. She doesn't seem to really expect you to take care of it or anything.
Oh, thank God. And he goes, good, I can keep doing what I'm doing. And he goes,
Yeah.
well,
She just wanted me to let you know. You know.
I'll come by and
So-
see him later, I guess.
Yeah. She was gonna come here herself, but she's.
She just gave birth. She needs to learn how to chill.
I know that's what the orc said. I sit down. Oh.
He's just there sitting with you, sipping his drink. Yep.
You're gonna be protecting the tavern in case anything bad happens.
Well, I mean, that's what I got paid for, so yeah.
You are welcome to stay, you know, as long as you keep that sword away.
Oh, I can't stay for very long. If I don't help, there's no way to stop the Reaper, and if we don't stop the Reaper, then more kids will get taken. And I don't want any more kids to get taken. I mean, I like the kids around here, especially yours.
Well, by the way, my hands are still in his ears. I look at like I have that my mouth slightly down. I nod very very shyly. I narrow my eyes just slightly. That is okay. That you should leave. I mean I'm sure they need you somewhere else.
I nod.
Now.
And Titus, you hear your sword. He whispers something to you again, and something is not right with the woman. We must go to her quickly.
I nod as I just start sprinting out of the inn very quickly, probably startling the satyr and the Fayin a little bit.
I sighed when like of relief as you leave. Right now it's like Chevre, Diruk, me, and the orc is still there, or is he with?
What was that?
Is the orc still with us, or?
He never came back to the tavern. Just
Oh.
Titus came here.
Oh, okay. So is it right? Just me, Diruk, and Chevre, right?
Yes.
Okay. So I told you before, Chevre. I don't like you being too close to that kid. He is trouble. He will definitely be got by blacks, and he is resolved on this. And I don't want him anywhere near us on the day of the harvest. This will stop.
I don't dictate your personal life, though.
Yes, well, it's part of the safety, and so it's part of the deal.
You heard a kid. Sorry.
I said that way when it's already like Titus is gone, right? He ran, right?
My bad.
Yeah.
All right.
It's cool. So yeah, I say that when he's leave. So like, I'm sorry. I understand that the way our professional arrangement works, it takes a lot of your time. So I do try to get you your personal needs taken care of as much as I can. But as I said, it's all about safety. And sure, you go around when that's possible. So now it's time to be a bit more proper. Unless you need to defend us. When then you can be as feminine as you want.
He just is confused by your usage of feminine.
If you have dealt with Frame before, like just inverted, and the way he dresses is like a perfect proper Frame male. Cannot show those legs. It's just inviting. That is just inviting. All right, like non-proper attention. This is not acceptable. It cannot be done.
And then shortly after Midas runs off, you Garax enters, the witch of all this controversy. He enters your tavern, and he looks around and then walks over to you.
Shit! Like, okay.
He looks around. What?
Okay, like he does that. I like my mouth like I just full jaw drop, and Diruk actually looks very scared when he looks at the witch, and I'm like, Diruk, go quick to your room. Tell the Chavret to go with you. Now.
And I go.
And he walks in and he's like, looks around, walks
I
up
have
to you.
a hostile look towards him. I do not look as cautious as I usually do. I am clearly scared, though. I am very fucking clearly scared.
Have you seen Bua or Boy with the two swords, or the older man with the one large sword? Have you seen any of them?
Why do you ask this of me?
They have agreed to help rid us of Alex, and I went to Boa's home and he was not there.
I look at him. I'm very clearly afraid. I'm trying to, a thousand thoughts come through my mind. Do you not? I have a kid. Please, I cannot be speaking with you. Have compassion.
Do not worry. After tonight, your village will fear not for Alex any longer.
You say this. But where were you when she was taken? What were you doing after it? Michael does not ask these questions.
It was a mistake.
I'm not there to spoke them out loud.
Please, give me this chance of redemption. I will prove my worth to you. I will prove my worth to this village. I will right the wrongs that have been caused.
Why now? Why just now?
I have had time to prepare now. I was caught off guard the last cycle. You should come with us. You should come and help. We need everyone we can.
My eyes widen like with a clear greater fear. No, that's no. How can you ask this of me? You cannot be here. Stop being here. Go. If you want to help, stop being here. Go. I shouldn't be talking with you.
It's
please
not.
don't ask this of me. Please don't ask this of me. I'm really clearly scared, but at the same time I don't wanna offend the fucking witch and get turned into a fucking rat. You know.
You shouldn't be so fearful.
Those who have that which can be taken away are fearful. This is the way things go. You seem calm.
Because the boy, the sword he wields, will be the key to all of this. It will end this reaper.
He shakes his
to worry about.
As he's speaking. He's just a boy.
But it's
Lex
so
is a god. Do you not care for this thing? Why would you visit this upon this town of us?
But Lex is a liar. He does not care for your town. He cares only for your worship and for your praise and for your offerings. Look at how quickly he turned upon the town. If I am gone and dealt with, how long until he becomes annoyed with you again? And how long before he takes someone else out of this annoyance?
But it shouldn't be my kid. It shouldn't be my kid. I have done nothing wrong to him. If he takes my kid, it will be your fault. For I am speaking with you right now.
Do you give praise to Valex?
I, everyone knows of my pumpkin pies. This is no. You have heard of this. You are not. You're a witch. You know things. No.
Making pumpkin pies and praising Valex are two different things.
I like my hands like clasp underneath, like they clasp and tightly get like the fabrics on my like around here, as if you can see my camera. Like they're tightly grasping it. I shouldn't be talking with you. Please stop.
I will
Please.
leave. Just know one thing. If you do not give praise to Valex, then he will send the reapers for you next, and he will force that praise out of you. He was displeased with this village, not because they turned to witchcraft, but because they turned from him. And if you parade around and sit on the fence, then you'll be left alone when the reaper comes for you. You'll have no one. You should choose a side.
But what if I choose the losing side?
Then at least you made a choice, and at least you tried.
No. I've been trying. I look away. My clasps like I'm slightly like my elbows bent slightly as I rise slightly this thing on my skirt. I'm just a man. Why would my choices matter? I just please. I should not be speaking with you.
He begins to walk out. You have been given the choice, and even if you choose not to decide, that is still the choice. Thank
What
God.
would be of me if I give worship to Lex? Will you do something to me? Will you do something, my kid?
He looks back at you again, and he's like, I will not have to. For Valex will deal with his own. And he walks out.
There is
Alright.
this
What?
frown on my face as I see him walk away. Frown of confusion and just such hellish decision in me. And I drop like the clasping of my of the fabric and on my dress, and I take this carefully woven adornment I have around my neck. I shut my eyes, close strongly, and I pull at them as as if I'm like pulling at this thing as trying to. It just feels on my neck. I look up. I look down. I put my hands in my face and I walk fast towards my room.
Alright, and Michael, you and Bua both go out into the farmland. Titus is, still on his way here. You have a little bit of a head start on him, but you get there first with the woman. You're helping her walk. She's carrying the baby. She's a little bit tired and worn out and woozy. And she directs you to an old abandoned barn house in the middle of a overgrown field, an overgrown farm field. You see there's like four or five like scarecrows scattered about, looking dilapidated and old. and you see there's like a broken wheelbarrow and stuff. It looks like it's in very poor maintenance. Like it hasn't been taken care of in quite some time. And there's like a little barn in the middle of this field, a decent ways away from any other houses. She enters into the barn.
You live here.
As I said, I've been cast from my house from my father.
You cannot raise a child in such conditions.
I hope Shadia will help me. If not, then I must do what I can. As she sits down in a bale of, on a bale of hay, and lays the baby down.
No, this isn't right.
What do you wish from me, Boa?
Something of great importance to you. Something personal. An item, a trinket, anything.
She takes a necklace off. Here. The necklace is... It is a necklace of a pumpkin. It's like a wooden necklace of a pumpkin. And this was a holy symbol of Velex. I used to cherish it as a girl, but seeing how Velex has forsaken us, I care not for it anymore. You may take it.
It will do. I take it and I place it in my bag.
And then you hear footsteps outside.
What would it take, as I hear what's up, what would it take for you to get a nice home out here?
It's more opulence than I can afford. And then the footsteps get louder. And then all of a sudden,
I look over there.
you hear a scratching noise on the door to the barn.
Who's there?
And all of a sudden, you hear a voice. We come for the child. Surrender them.
I should have known.
And then you see claws pierce through the door. And she lets out like a scream. It's like, he sent them! He sent them!
Are these the spirits the witch was talking about? I look toward Boa.
Yes, they are most assuredly reapers.
And then the door gets slowly pried open by these claws. And you see there's 4 scarecrow-like men figures outside with elongated claw. And then Titus, you're running through the field, running towards this barn house. And you see these 4 scarecrows that have taken down from their perch. And they approach the barn and they're digging away at the door to the barn.
Even knowing that I can't actually hurt them with my sword, I grip my sword, the Iron Beast, tightly. And I put one foot in front of the other and I say, why don't you spirits come to my plane of existence and see how long you last?
Don't be foolish. Get the girl, the child. Flee this place. I will hold them off as long as I can.
What can you do?
I have some spells up my sleeve.
And then Titus, what are you doing? You see these 4 scarecrow-like figures clawing their way into this barn.
I think he's muted again.
Mentally, I'm going to be asking the sword if these are the spirits. Are these the spirits?
No, they are weaker than the Reaper. They were constructed by a priest of Velex.
So I can hurt them like normal.
Yes, they can be dispatched of.
So, let's see, double check here. So, I'm going to try to attack one. I mean, I probably would have drawn my sword on the way there, knowing that the sword was so adamant that there was a problem, so I don't need to draw my blade. So let's see. Don't get any bonus, but Hey.
Oh man. Okay, now you have to roll a single die. There you go. Yeah, 17.
So total of 17 to hit.
You hit, but you don't boost. These are extras, but let me check something real quick.
Or do they have? And if I hit, even as long as they don't have armor, if they're an
Yeah, they
extra,
have
then I
armor.
destroy them.
They have armor on. They have not armor on, but they have a hide rating.
Well, I mean, I do have 2 armor surpass on Oathkeeper, so
Okay, where is Oathkeeper at on your? Do you have the stats form down? What's your damage and armor surpass? You can just tell me.
damn it. Here, let me just post it in.
Okay, 425. So, okay. You as you run up there to the scarecrow turns around to face you. Here, you run up there to him, and you bring Oathkeeper upon him. And what do? You don't have quite enough to pierce his hide rating. They have a hide rating of 6, though, so you don't do the 1 damage needed. You tie his hide rating with your sword. If you would have got 1 boost, then you would have defeated them, but you tie his hide rating. So, describe how you how you attempt to attack him.
If I bring the sword down, and I imagine it embeds into the pumpkin head of the scarecrow, but I mean, the scarecrow's still alive. I mean, it doesn't have any organs or anything. It's an inanimate object, brought to life by it. So this is just it's basically just cinematic damage, no actual damage done. As I shank my blade out of the pumpkin, just there's this big cut in the pumpkin. And I look down at the sword and I go, gonna have to do a little more than that, I think.
And then you see the other 3.
So we definitely see this, right? I see little Titus.
He's outside. You didn't see this. They haven't gotten inside, but the other 3 bust through the door before you can get to the girl. And now you may roll your reaction. You and Bua and Titus and all 3 of you can roll reaction. And whoever, because Titus got like a surprise round on them. But
I do believe that my attack was probably just straight up the surprise round, so.
all right, so
Wait, did I just? Okay, yep, I got a freaking 9.
all right, Boa, you go first. What do? These 3 scarecrows bust through the door. They tear their way through this old rickety door, and the girl's screaming, clutching the baby, crying. And you see they start walking towards you. As you just see Titus in the background pulling a sword from one of them, verifying that these can be that you can actually strike these with normal weapons.
Also, they can be hurt.
I'm not always right. Never said I was. I grabbed my staff. I pointed at the closest one. I wish to cast a spell at him now.
Which one? Which spell?
Execration.
Okay. Go ahead and describe that.
I point my staff at him and I utter, damn you, straight to the bowels of darkness.
All right, go ahead and make your caster check.
I think it's just a +1.
Okay.
Wait, what kind of caster are you?
Crap, I forgot. We didn't put your caster check down, and I forgot. He's a Path of Thorns. Does anybody have 77 thrones? I mean, not 77, but look at your
Of course, there's 77 thrones. Of course, not 77. You mean?
Book of True Names. Yeah, I forgot to put his caster check down. I got to look
it up real quick. Give me
Yeah.
a sec.
Yeah, I got my caster status down.
Yeah, not
Oh,
you.
look. We have two. We've had two witches in the town this whole time. So even if we got rid of one, this like still would have been pissed.
Okay, what is the Path of Thorns? I found my book, so that is your presence rating plus your hate people forte.
I don't have a hatred for people forte.
So it's just your hate score plus your presence rating.
Okay.
Witches are honestly one of the most badass types of magi.
Well.
Oh yeah, that's an amazing roll. Totally did something to him.
All right, as you cast this at him, and you see like this hex-like energy swirls out from the end of your staff, coming from the animal skull, and it swirls around him. But as it swirls around him, it like clashes with like a different color, like almost orange-colored energy, as the ritual that created them sustains him and battles off the forces that you have put upon him, that you tried to force upon him.
I'm getting too old for this shit.
All right, and then Titus, this is your go again. You rolled next, so go ahead.
Okay, so I'm going to try and attack this thing again, of course.
All right. Okay.
Only a 7.
You fail to hit, so you swing your sword at him, and he catches your blade with the tips of his claws, and just kind of like holding it there. But you're able to snatch the blade away from him, throwing him a little off balance, but not enough to knock him down onto the ground. And then switching over to their turn now, because that Michael rolled so terribly low. He responds in kind to your assaults upon him now. So roll a defense roll, Titus.
Oh boy. Well, at least my defense roll is better than my attack roll. Also, when you're a 12-year-old with 15 health gauge, it's kind of fun.
Oh, dang. He got a 14 on hit. All right, he brings his he deals 6 damage to you with 1 armor surpass.
What did you do to him?
And he raises his claws up, like comes back around from them and slashes deeply across your chest, tearing your shirt open. Blood sprays out, and you see like 3 deep claw marks gash across your chest as you stumble back from the impact into you.
Oh boy, I'm not sure which is better. The implications of Valex's minions being more than willing to basically try to kill a 12-year-old, or what Thomas's character is going to do to these things after seeing them attack a 12-year-old.
All right, so you do indeed see this attack.
I'm down to 9 health gauge, by the way.
Yeah. Not quite in the quick yet, but getting pretty close. And then, all right, Michael, no, never mind, there's still 2 more of them. All right, so one of them, the one that you just cast your hex on, comes straight for you, Boa, with like a vengeance.
Also, does the initiative work that they respond to what the other person does as well?
Sometimes.
Like when they like seeing how I rolled, or what I say, what I do, and then they respond to it.
All right, well, go ahead. Then what are you going to try to do? Like, are you going to try to attack them, or are you going to?
As I get a chance, I see that, especially after seeing that happen to Titus, I will grip my sword, the Iron Beast, tightly with both hands and charge at one of them.
One of them steps in front and attacks you, blocking your charge, and the other one comes straight for Boa. And then, all right, Boa, roll defense. Boa.
All right, well, here we go.
Oh, dang, a 14.
Not bad.
What do? He raises his claw up at you, and he lunges it at you like he's trying to plunge it into your chest, like a straight thrust into your chest. So what do you do?
I basically just parry / swat it away with my staff to the best of my ability.
Right, you swat his hand away from your staff, knocking it off to the side, and then Michael, you're moving up there, and then the other one comes out of nowhere, blindsides you. What do you do? What's your roll? Go ahead and make your roll.
Oh shit!
Oh well. Yep.
Sweet Jesus.
So he's coming at you from the side, trying to blindside you. What do you do?
I just kind of put my shoulder up and just kind of like bash him out of the way, just going straight for this other one. That attack Titus.
You keep
Okay,
motion.
so what I've learned from this particular first round of this combat is that I'm more important than the baby.
She is back there, like behind everything, but so you're running straight for Titus, but this is going to leave her wide open, like Titus.
Oh no, I'm still in between her and the scarecrows, right?
Yeah, one of them went past you while the other one distracted you, though.
Well, shit. Now that baby's dead.
That was the one that attacked Michael, but Michael's just running past him, though. So
He's just moseying past me?
No, he attacked you, but now he's behind Bua, so he can go towards the woman.
Well, technically, by round 2, he'll probably use his movement action to get past Boa.
Yeah, but he's gonna basically he has an open field.
Well, as of right now, Bua has the opportunity to try to do something to stop him. Seeing how he just tried to get me, but as Michael sees, little Polo Titus is literally getting torn asunder.
All right, well, go ahead and you can make your attack roll. Is this going to be a charge attack, by the way you're describing it?
No, I don't have. I was wrong. I don't have charging attack, but I do. I still charge. Okay. I don't have charging attack though. I don't have the actual thing. I'm coming at this guy.
You don't need an advantage to make the charge attack. Period. It just gives you better stuff if you do.
I didn't even know that. Well, I don't. I'm just like. I don't even know what it does normally. I'm just gonna do a normal attack, but I'm charging.
Basically, a charging attack increases the amount of damage you do, but it decreases your net. I think.
Actually, I could be wrong, but doesn't the charge attack what it does is help you run more than your usual speed or something like that?
I mean, there's an advantage for it, but I don't know.
Yeah, it's okay. It's just a normal attack right now because you don't have the advantage. But charging attack, what it does normally is it gives you a -2 to your defense and a -1 to your attack normally. And then with the advantage, you get a bonus to damage to it. But you're not. I think Alejandro might be right by saying that I believe it might let you move farther than your movement action. But anyway,
I'm actually trying to do that. I'm just.
Okay, well, you're able to get over the
I assume you could describe a charge without being mechanically charging, I assume.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
All right, so go ahead and make your attack on him. Oh, so don't forget your Defender of Innocent bonus.
Oh, so it's 19 then. 19. Make sure. Can I read the description of it just to make?
Yeah, it's your love, interpersonal forte.
So yeah, that's 2. That's 19.
All right, you hit him, and you finish him.
I come down with I'm swinging it from my shoulder, so I come down with a diagonal strike. Come down from the right to the left. I'm holding on my right shoulder, and I just completely cut him diagonally in half, and I hit the ground so hard that dust just flies up from the ground, and he just slides and falls apart. What little is left of him. He had no chance against the Iron Beast.
And then as his remains collapse to the ground, you see almost like an orange colored essence spark within him and then fade almost as fast as it sparked. And then we'll go back to Bua now. It is his turn again.
Well, you said that that one is still going for the child, right?
Yeah.
Well, it's not my forte, but I make a swing at it.
Try and trip it.
Okay, yeah, that's not a bad idea.
Make me look up the rules if I forgot.
You can make a trip attack without actually having the advantage, I think.
I think it's really, really hard to do though. I think.
Look up the advantage. It describes making the trip attack without. I'm pretty sure you get a negative when making the roll, like it's like a -3 or something. But if you succeed in tripping someone, I'm pretty sure they like lose their next turn,
Yeah.
or unless they make a kip up. To up.
Go
And
ahead.
I'm pretty sure these things can't kip up.
Hello. Okay. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
If you trip someone, the first thing that happens is that they go prone. Being prone means -1 to defense, -4 to defense, and -4 to attack, until you actually get up. So that's like tripping someone is useful, especially if you're in a group, because the other guy will basically have, as if he had a +4 to attack, because basically the thing has a -4 to defense. And as you say, it would need to spend a turn to get up or get a fucking amazing acrobatics.
All right, Bua, that's a -4 without the advantage to tripping them.
Okay.
So the rear attack
Thanks.
-4.
Yeah, it's just +1 then. Oh
All right,
shit.
you do it. Describe your trip attack.
Well, I get my the butt end of my staff, not the decorated end, and I basically jam it, in between his legs, sort of like you would do in the spokes of a bicycle as he's running towards this the child, and basically use his own momentum to trip himself.
All right, he just the scarecrow falls to the ground and claps his face first into the dirt. And now it is Titus's turn again. The scarecrow in front of you has just been cut down, and the other two are inside the barn currently, which are within your range that you can move up and attack them if you wish.
Michael can tell, Titus is at the verge of tears, but he's holding it together as he has a look of determination, and he looks at the sword, and he gives a thankful nod to Michael and just says, "We have 2 more to kill," and the guy is gonna try and get back into the
Michael
the building.
And Titus both make a perception roll in the sight forte with a -4 to your roll.
Oh snap!
I am back, by the way.
Okay. Welcome back.
Have any perception?
Yep, a perception sight forte, and it's a -4 to the roll.
Okay, so perception. So I only take a -1. Oh wait, -1 from a skill, but it also uses the enlightenment bonus, so I actually get a +3. So in total.
All right.
In 1 moment.
Well, I'm gonna get some poop. I'm gonna get like a -2. Oh man, because it's your roll -4, right?
Yeah.
All right. Well, see what happens. I'm really blind. Oh, what the heck happened?
I don't
As a
know.
note, I think prone only affects attack and defense.
Okay, total of 14.
All right. Michael.
8.
Okay.
Yeah.
Titus thinks he might possibly have spotted something off in the field, but it is a little ways off, and he can't make out exactly what it is. But unless he stopped to investigate further, which would mean forfeiting the combat and going over there and investigating, is just a thing off in the corner. It could be nothing. It could be the grass moving for all he knows. But you can do with that information what you will.
I guess I don't see anything at all.
No, you don't notice anything at all. You're completely enveloped in the combat.
Think how Titus.
I am an angry, combat-capable 12-year-old who just got attacked by a scarecrow. I'm killing more scarecrows.
All right.
Just as Titus has said, there's 2 more, and I'll say, yeah, not a problem.
All right. Titus, go ahead. Make your attack.
So. Total of 17.
Oh dang!
We're getting a lot of 8s tonight.
That happens often. Whenever
Especially
when anybody who plays with me usually gets high rolls. You can ask Aaron. I played in a game with him where I rolled for my stats for his system, and I got like the best rolls. But anyways, you failed to boost by 1 point. and that means you're not going to be able to do another point of damage to him yet again because that you're tied. Your damage ties his hide rating. So you can go ahead and describe what happens with that.
Can I say I chop off one of its feet, not doing any actual damage,
Yeah,
but
go
like I trip it so that
go ahead.
so that Thomas can. They're both tripped at this point. Thomas, make your pick. You get a +4 on either of them. I mean, come on, chopping off its foot's definitely gonna trip it.
Like hopping on one foot so it doesn't fall down, I guess.
Yeah, he'll fall down. He would have got to trip it even if he took the -4. So I'll let him trip it. And like he goes with it, cuts his foot off, and it falls down too. So
Okay.
so now it is the Scarecrow's turn now.
Both on the ground, so they're like just moseying.
They both spend their action to get back on their feet.
Imagine what it'd be like. Oh man, that one little one-legged one it kips up somehow. It just gets up and he's an amazing roll, and then just get somebody.
They both just get up normally. They spend their turn getting up.
Okay, now
Yay!
it's
Orc, trip him again.
All right, so now it's Michael's turn.
alright. If this one tries to get up, I'll try to put it back down. So I'm gonna roll. I come down with like a just like a downward strike, just straight down.
Alright, you kill him. He's done.
I guess he's trying to get up. I guess I just go ahead and just decapitate him, taking the pumpkin head off. Just go there, just bring it down with full force, just taking it off. I realize that these things are so easily taken care of with my sword. I don't even really have to put my full force into it, but
Alright, you chop that pumpkin off, and once again the little orange spark of energy dissipates from him, and now it is Bua's turn. Again, as the last one is now back on his feet, he's turned towards you, raising his claw into the air, as if preparing to strike you. What do you do?
Well, I try to defend myself, I guess. If he's going to attack me.
All right, you can try to trip him again if you want, or you can just hit him normally. It's up to you.
Okay, well, I'm just going to try to knock his head off. Little pumpkin head.
Go ahead and make your roll.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
All right, you don't hit him. So you swing at his pumpkin head, and he just raises his claws and slaps, like almost like backhands your staff out of the way, knocks the little skull off of it, and it like rolls off into the dirt.
Oh, it's going to take me forever to get that back on there.
And now it is your turn again, Titus.
Okay, so my brother was talking to me for a second. What just happened?
Bua failed to attack him. He attacked him and failed, and he lost his ornament on his staff. But
Oh no!
So now it is your turn. Now there's only one Scarecrow left. He is back on his feet, and it is your turn once again.
Titus.
Sorry, I was thinking about what I'm doing. So I'm I'm going to be just attacking the one that he failed to hit. So
It's the last one, right?
Yeah.
And what do you think of that one, Etho?
Oh man.
All right, you don't even hit him this time, actually, but they're both over there trying to hit him, and he's deflecting them with his claws. But he is then he turns and looks. He looks around and then quickly scoops down and attempts to grapple Titus.
Oh man.
You're going to do it like this, huh?
All right, so
You're going to do me... Damn it.
Oh man.
So he grabs Titus by the throat and with one of his clawed hands and wraps the claws around his throat, not digging into him or anything, but just grabs him and lifts him up by the throat. He doesn't harm him, but he starts backing away with him. He starts trying to back away, holding him out forward, like almost, just with one hand extended forward, like in a defensive manner. With another hand, like he intends full well to take him in place of this satire child. And Titus is, he has a tight grip on his throat. So now, yes.
Question: is this thing tall enough that while holding my sword, I can drag the sword along the ground?
He's about 5'8", and he's lifted you off the ground. So probably your sword can probably touch the ground. Yeah, if you're like arms dangling, your sword's probably dragging across the ground.
Okay. Hey, is there a chance that we could split the game into two? I'm gonna have to get off relatively soon.
All right. Let's finish this scene real quick, and then we'll let you off. All right, Michael, what do you do?
So he's just basically backing away with him, huh? And I see little Titus' little sword dragging across the ground.
Yeah.
I see. Is he basically looking like he's trying to hold him like hostage, basically?
Yeah, kind of.
Alright. And how much of this scarecrow thing is it exposed right now? Because obviously I'm being lifted off the ground. How much of it?
Maybe just his legs, because he's like his torso is pretty much aligned with the scarecrow's torso, so just the scarecrow's legs are exposed.
Okay, I'm gonna have to trust that I'm fast enough. I'm gonna try to come at him full speed. To get done before he can do anything to really harm Titus.
All right, go ahead and make your attack roll. And you do. You get him.
All right. I come out, and I grip my sword tightly, and I act like I'm basically about to swing, and I slide. And I swing, chopping his legs off. And is he still gripping on to Titus when I chop his legs off?
He drops him. When you chop his legs off, he drops him and falls to the ground.
And I pick up my sword, and I get on top of him. And I place it on his neck, and I just push as hard as I can down, decapitating him.
All right. And with that, we'll end the scene there with their victory. And as for the scene at the tavern thing, we will pick up there when we play again. And I will talk to each of you guys about whether or not we can work out some time to play again. But it's been fun, and we'll be logging off air now. So see you guys all later. And
say real quick, Alejandro.
And remember,
Yes.
always have the sexual intercourse.
Oh man,
Go on.
Alejandro. Michael is not racist. I didn't mean to intend.
I'm just
Go.
playing. God damn, why you take me serious?
but yeah, we're gonna go off air now, everybody. I hope you all enjoyed this, and apparently we're gonna have a part 2 coming up at some point. And I will.
Well, this is all Titus's master plan. He intended to drag this on as long as he can.
You check how these drawings.
My plot is working.
It's almost finished. Look at this.
Listen to a full-length saga. Mwahaha.
Ugh.
But I will.
Look at it.
I will.
Look at this bitch.
The heck?
I'll update everybody on Facebook about when the next live stream is coming, whenever we get it sorted out. But I'll see all you viewers later. All right.
Take
Peace out.
care.